Welcome, Internet, to the Play Some Video Games podcast. It's your boy, Dad Ninja Dev, joined as always by Donnie Eat the Hype Reese and Delvin Swagadelish Cox. I don't know.
Swaggy P's in the house.
Swaggy D.
Yeah, Swaggy D's.
Swaggy D's.
Swaggy Knees is hilarious.
Oh, man. What's up, gentlemen? It's the second night of NBA, and we have been talking a lot of basketball leading up to the show tonight.
You're off and running.
I'm so happy the NBA is back.
Mm-hmm.
So excited.
Yeah, it's good. Good to have NBA back. Good to have something else out there to watch or not watch, depending on how busy you are. I love NBA basketball. NBA basketball is always fun. It's better than that shit D-Life was talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he was on. He was on some serious random shenanigan nonsense. Had the wrong thing on the television.
Clearly. Hey, guys, I'm watching this. Shut up. Go fix computers. Leave me alone. Go fix a goddamn Game Boy Pocket or some shit.
I was say, I think you mean phone.
I don't know. Leave us adults alone. That bullshit you're coming there with.
Mad nonsense. All right, well, let's just jump right into it. Donnie, let's start with you. How was your week, man? What you been playing? What you been up to?
Pretty good. Still trying to check the cap score. Clock hasn't moved. Yeah, it's been fun. I haven't played a whole terrible lot actually since Sunday. Played a lot of Mario last week, but I just haven't had a whole lot of time to play. I've been real busy with work and family this week. I went to the doctor yesterday and got my bill of unhealth and
Oh,
bill of unhealth. Yeah.
Got my flu shot,
right.
got my booster shot. So
that's
I'm
good.
all kitted up. Yeah, I don't know. I'm ready for Halloween. I'm not particularly like too enthusiastic this evening. On the gaming front, I bought a ton of Switch games, just like a dozen Switch games. I told Delvin on Shack, man, there's a great sale going on. Anybody out there that's not like anything that I was really interested in, and seemingly is on sale.
yeah.
Like everything is on sale.
I saw that.
Like Dragon Ball's on
Bucket of
sale.
games.
Castlevania's on sale. I got Super Meat Boy for $1. My free copy of Metal Gear came in from Best Buy, so I got that on Switch. I also got Metal Gear Collection on PC. It doesn't work on my Ally.
I was gonna say I'm sorry that you got it on PC because that thing is atrocious.
Yeah, if you I always play on my Ally at 720. So if you have the screen set to 720, it only plays in Windows mode. You can't go into full screen mode. It just doesn't.
Oh,
Like the ROM, the game only sees
port is broken.
the game only sees full screen, I guess, as 1080p. Like it has to be 1080p. My triggers don't work. Now, I've been talking to some other people that have allies. Theirs works. They're like, yeah, we have no problem. I have no idea why mine doesn't work. I really don't. I tried remapping. Like when I go into the Steam controller settings, I see it. My triggers are there. I get full function. I can see the stuff going up and down. I've remapped. I've mapped again. I've tried doing the Steam profile. I have no idea why it doesn't work. They work in other games. It's not like they don't work at all. They work in every other game that I've booted. They just don't work in the Metal Gear game. I don't know why. Now, and to be fair, I think this may be part of the issue because I did not clarify what other games people were playing. So the one person who told me that it's playing, I noticed later that he's specifically playing Metal Gear Solid 3. I haven't tried Metal Gear Solid 3. I'm playing Metal Gear Solid, and they don't work. So if you don't have the triggers, and I can't change weapons or guns or get rations or anything, like we're going full peaceful playthrough. We gotta do the whole game.
that's not good.
Know if you can do that.
So yeah, I'm not gonna play it on the Ally anyway. I played it a little bit on PC, like with my controller and everything, in much bigger resolution and everything, and it plays great. It's Metal Gear. The port is not I don't think it's particularly well received. As you mentioned, the PC version has lots of problems. You can't go full screen out of resolution. I've heard the mouse doesn't work. I've heard other people saying controller doesn't work. That people that are playing with a controller have found out that you have to shoot with the keyboard and stuff. It's
busted. It's
That
busted
doesn't
as all
sound
hell.
fun.
I don't even understand, like, how does this get through QA? Like, it doesn't make
Steam
any
have
sense to
QA?
me.
I think people could just publish. They just self.
I wasn't even
whatever the
thinking
hell they
about
want.
Steam Q. I'm talking about just like Konami. Like, why did you let
they
this
don't give
even?
a fuck.
Like, damn.
At all.
There's already There's already ports that work better. How does this happen?
That's true. That's true. I mean, they coming in hot. They told us a week ago that they had a fixes, right? Remember I shared that article? They were like, we have a patch coming after launch. We're like, why? These games have been like 30, 40 years old.
They
What is it
need
you say you
patches.
do here?
It's an interesting bunch, to say the least.
Yeah,
So
just madness, absolute madness.
yeah. So I played a little bit of that. Grand Theft Auto's on sale on Switch. I played a little GTA. I got those. Finally picked those up on Switch just to have. Kind of telling myself that, like,
of those games do you have now? How many?
Enough. I try to tell myself that I'm like,
Grand Theft Auto.
I'm playing the futures. That, like, they'll be great on like Switch 2. I'll have like a really great portable version of Grand Theft Auto.
So you're lying to yourself.
No. I think there's a chance that happens. It's possible.
Yeah, imagine if it's not backwards compatible. That would be even just.
That would be hilarious. I was going to try to boot in.
I'd be mad.
I was going to try to boot into another Metal Gear. I actually haven't even tried. Let me try booting into like Metal Gear 2 or something, see what happens.
Metal Gear.
They actually don't look. I also got Red Dead. Red Dead Redemption for Switch. So I'm like,
what
just
did you get? Like,
checking
Jesus
all my
Christ.
boxes. I got a lot of stuff for Switch. I got just stuff that were on my wish list that was like $1 or $2. I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get like a $40 gift card here and just go nuts. I got Kakarot for Jack. He loves that game. I love that game. We don't have it on Switch. We've had it on. He's been playing it on my PC and stuff. So I was like, let's try this. Grand Theft Auto plays and actually looks fine on Switch. Their cars are metallic, surfaces are shiny, lights are glowy, like everything looks good until you start driving fast.
Oh, no.
And then it just really starts to get kind of choppy and clippy. And the characters
this game
running
ran on PlayStation 2. Like, it should be fine to run
backwards
on these systems.
Should be.
What the hell?
Well, we've talked about how terrible those GTA ports are, just in general. Like, they're just bad. I mean, I've got an infinitely more powerful PC. Still doesn't run like solidly.
Right.
So the ports, those ports are just terrible. But it is Grand Theft Auto. If you don't mind playing at 30, it is playable on Switch, but I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. It's, it's kind of a choppy, like, it's not very enjoyable. Like, if I was in a pinch, like in a doctor's office, why not knock yourself out, right? But like, if given the option to play it somewhere else, would I play it there? I wouldn't. Like, if that's your only option. Red Dead, on the other hand, though, Red Dead is great on Switch.
Oh,
like,
that's
really
good to hear.
nice. Yeah, I was really impressed. I was expecting it to be like muddier. Like there's a lot of Switch, not just ports, but there's a lot of ports, but demanding Switch games can look like there's a coat of oil on the screen. They get real blurry. Like even the playable ones, like Doom, is a muddy, blurry. Like, if you really focus in on it, it gets real. Like Bayonetta 3, Outer Worlds, like these. It's not great. Wolfenstein. Red Dead didn't have anything like that. Red Dead looks like Red Dead. It looks just like it did when you played it the first time. It probably looks better than you did the first time.
On PlayStation 3. So we got the PlayStation 3 game working. The PS2 game, same company.
Same thing.
We can't seem to.
Well, you remember, I don't think, did Grove Street do. I think it's a Grove Street problem.
Rockstar should treat their products better.
So should Naughty Dog.
Better. Yeah. Just come on.
There's good port studios and there's bad port studios. So yeah, but I did stroll around in Red Dead for a little bit, and I would wholly recommend anybody that wants to get into Red Dead or thinking about it or tempted, if you want that thing on your Switch, buy it. Because it's pretty nice. It's draw distance wise can get a little muddy if you start looking out at like the grass out in the distance. Weird thing. I don't even know how best to explain it. When it's docked, I get the impression there's like either some, I don't want to say weird, some anti-aliasing issues. Maybe it's texture filtering, if not the resolutions being like checkerboarded altogether. Because when it's docked and it scales up to 1080, it looks great. If you're not like paying too close attention to like the picture. I'm afraid to even say this because I'm afraid I'm going to like ruin somebody's experience. You know, like they don't see it and then I explain to them what to look for and all of a sudden they see it, but like I see it and I know it's there. When you're panning the camera, you can kind of see like scan lines, you know, like every so often. And when you pan horizontally, you see them horizontally, and you pan vertically, you see them vertically. It reminds me of like checkerboarding, like when I've seen checkerboarded upscaling, that's what it reminds me of. But I don't know if it's checkerboarding. I actually tried to get close to see if I could see like through the pic. Like I don't think so. I think it's like some sort of texture filtering because they are really using low texture. So it might be like the layers of the textures that are kind of creating this. It's almost like a banding type of look. Like you'll kind of see columns only when the camera's panning. Like if you stop, it kind of like snaps into place. You know, but it doesn't really matter. If you don't pay attention to it, you won't see it. You can just play the game if you just kind of look at the picture as a whole instead of focusing in on the little graphical, you know, nuances. But I mean, that's really it. I've been playing a bunch of little random games here or there. When I'm not playing fucking Game of the Year, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, because it is amazing. It's so good. I'm on my last world. I haven't got a chance to play it as much as I wanted to. Like I got to play it a little bit last night. I got to play like I've been playing like 1 and 2 courses at a time. Whereas I want to just sit down and play it for like 4 hours. And I just haven't had the time to really squeeze it in. I played for about 30 minutes before we started the show. Had a lot of fun going through. I think and I'm sure there's extra worlds. I've already found a secret world. So I'm sure once I get the kind of the game objective out of the way, I'm sure like a Bowser world or 4 or whatever will pop up. I'm sure I'm not close to the end. And I'm not even trying to like get to the end. I'm just really, really enjoying it. I gushed about it, what I feel like too long on Shaq. I don't want to just regurgitate all of that here. I'll just say that it's great. I'm liking it quite a bit. I'm really enjoying playing as different characters. It just, after a while, I kind of get bored, you know, with just the same character. So just being able to just mix it up every now and again is fun. I find that the badges are adding a ton of replayability because what I didn't know Sunday that I know now, so just to try and say something new, there's a lot of replayability in these courses because once you start trying to hunt for secrets, you'll realize that some secrets you can't reach without a certain badge or a certain power-up. So if you're not really using those, you may not be able to come across those. So you'll have to go through the levels multiple times, which is a great staple of like a good Mario game. Also later on, like I am running into way more challenge than I was expecting. It's not hard by any means. But all of the talk out of the review cycle was how easy of a game it is. And I think they may be using the word easy when they mean accessible, because there are ways to fudge and cheese the game that like the game allows, like with the Yoshi characters and other things, lives are plentiful. It's not hard. But if you're trying to 100% it and you're trying to find secret exits and you're trying to collect all the coins and collect all the flowers and everything, it is hard. And there are some downright hard courses. I was at this one course last night. I just played it. I may have died 16, 15, 20 times on this one course. I just kept going. I was like, oh, I hate this damn girl. And I got through it. But yeah, I mean, there's some challenge there. It's not an overly challenging game, but like the courses that are challenging are very challenging for a normal Mario game. So I think there's a really good balance of something for everybody. And I do love that there's so many courses that like you can beat the campaign without playing the hard ones. They're not required. You don't have to beat them to advance. There's so many flowers, or they give you options. So like if you just can't beat a course that's too hard for you, don't skip it. Go to another one, get those flowers, and go take on the castle and move forward. Like I really like that. It's Mario Wonder is a great example of like just an excellent Nintendo game. It just kind of proliferates everything that I think people love about Nintendo, like in one game. It's a shining example of like what makes Nintendo great. And it's incredible. I love it.
I'm sure
but
my son will be very excited to play it.
I'm talking and I've talked for 15 minutes, so I'll shut up now.
It's all good.
No, you're good.
You know, the people love to hear your reviews and your ideas and thoughts on games because you go in depth. So it's all good. We're all just mesmerized listening to you talk about Mario Wonder and how great a game it is.
So tell me how great Spider-Man is, because I've been seeing some amazing things.
It is the Amazing Spider-Man after all.
It's true. It's Amazing Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm having a blast with it. Really, really enjoying it. Story is fun. I enjoy just existing in that world. What they've done with the city and the traversal has just been absolutely incredible. I find myself trying to just prolong not doing missions and doing all the side stuff and trying to find all the side activities just to exist longer in the world, just based on all the talk of how short the game is. So far, I don't know how many hours I put into it, actually. I have absolutely no idea. I don't know how far into the game I am, but I really enjoy where the story is going. I enjoy just the character interaction between Miles, Harry, Peter, and MJ so far. It's just been a really, really fun dynamic between all of them and watching how they all interact. And then also with Miles and Genki. It's been really cool. J. Jonah Jameson, just all the characters in that world. It's just the way they're progressing everything. Even the villains and some of the turns they have taken have been really good. The opening gameplay with Sandman was really dope. It's crazy because I look back at like the original, like Spider-Man 2018 and Miles Morales and how good it looks, and this game looks better somehow, and it plays better. Everything feels more fluid, and like I said, the traversal is just absolutely incredible. The addition of the web wings and how much bigger the game feels is insane. Like the original game felt big, like that map felt huge, and somehow it's the same map with an addition, but the original portion of the map just feels so much bigger, so much more expansive, which is just absolutely ridiculous. And
sorry to interrupt you. So I've got Metal Gear here, which by the way really looks nice on this. Triggers totally work in Metal Gear 2. So it is just Metal Gear. It's just
Metal Gear
the
1.
port's just fucking busted, guys.
Yep.
Like at this point, I was thinking maybe it's me. Maybe it's something that I've got going on with my ally that doesn't work. But no, now I'm just chalking up to the game. The game is just shit.
Terrible.
Look at it. It's not me. It's you.
Yeah, I mean, like, what else could I say? At this point, it has to be, right? Like, if the damn thing works, if it works in the same game in a different file, but in Metal Gear Solid, it just doesn't. I'm glad I got a free Switch copy. I just played Metal Gear Solid over there instead. Sorry to interrupt you, but I wanted to.
Damn shame.
I never even thought to try the other games yet.
That is asinine. That does not work. But yeah, I mean, I'm all here. I'm here for Miles. I'm here for Spider-Man. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to get back into it. Like I really just want to go back and play some more. It's just fantastic. So yeah, what about you, Devin? How are you enjoying your time with Spider-Man?
It's great. It's everything you said. The web wings help you traverse the world a lot better.
Dude, that stuff looks dope. Some of the videos I've seen of people like swinging and jumping and then flying and zooming under bridges and stuff. I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah,
it's really cool. The skill tree is very robust.
Oh yeah,
because you have a skill tree for Miles, you have a skill tree for Peter, and you have a skill tree for both of them. And it doesn't seem like it's a lot to get to, and there's a lot of things that add to the characters and things like that. The game is fantastic. It feels like going from Arkham Asylum to Arkham City, really.
Wow.
And I think,
it's a good comparison.
And I think it's really good to see that it feels like the same game, but it's so much more you can do in it that makes it more fun. And the story, from what I played so far, 'cause I've been playing this more than I've been playing Mario Wonder, because since both games are short, I said I could probably finish one and just go right back to the other one. And Spider-Man's story, is bringing me in really well. It's a little bit more of a darker story than the first game, and I think the first game has some dark elements to it, but this one goes places, and I'm really enjoying that element of it. I'm enjoying the villains that they have in the universe because, they're classic Spider-Man villains. One of the things I like about this game a lot is that this game very much feels like its own universe. It feels like its own universe as opposed to not feeling like, all right, this is just from the comic books. Yes, there's elements that connect to the comic books, but this feels like, no, we're doing our own thing. And because we're doing our own thing, we can take liberties with certain characters and change things to fit our universe. And I think because of that, I think that's what makes this really stand out. And I like the fact that, to be frankly speaking, you don't know who is going to come out of it. You don't know who's going to live. You don't know who's going to die. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how the game is going to end because it's not going off anything from the comic books. It's not going off. It's its own thing. And it seems like they have carte blanche to do whatever they want to with the characters as they please. Based off what happened in the first game, that's clearly a thing. Yeah. And I love that the game so far is standing on that ground and kind of building a foundation on it, where there's so many different things happening that are really unique and just specific to the story. And the game has problems. I think it's not nothing major, but it's a little small thing. Some of the side quests can be a little repetitive. There's some ones I'm like, they don't really need to do this. But overall, I'm enjoying it. I love the fact that with certain side quests, if you do a certain amount of them, it gives you a story beat to it to kind of explain, hey, this is why you're doing it. And then it's almost like its own story with its own conclusion when you finish the side quest. Yeah. And there's some that are really cool and really expansive. And then there's some interesting how that turned out. But I'm really enjoying my time with it because there's so much stuff to do. The world feels very, very alive. And there's always something happening where there's cult leaders trying to brand people or a whole bunch of other wild things. What is going on in this city? But it's just so much fun. And I love the direction this game is going into. It feels very Assassin's Creed in a good way. And I mean, you have all these little markers you can go to, and it always feels like it's something to do. You can't go 5 feet without, there's a crime going over here. There's this thing you got to get over here. There's this thing you got to get over here. Somebody's calling your headset. So you don't never feel like, I'm bored. It's always something constantly going and keeping you entertained. And then you get to the point where they're like, maybe you should be Miles or maybe you should be Peter. And then when you switch over, it adds to the story even more. So it's great so far.
Yeah, I love that some of the side quests that they have are picking up from the previous games. There's a whole side quest is picking up where Spider-Man left off, one of the story beats there. Miles has his own stuff that's picking up from his game. So even within the main story, there's these side stories that are continuing on from the previous 2 games, which I think is excellent. So you have these callbacks, things that were going on in the previous games that they're continuing on. So the universe, again, it feels like it's its own thing, and it feels like so much more alive because of the fact that it's able to pick up where the other games left off and continue on those story beats that may not have been the main story, but it was something that you did in the game that has an effect. So really enjoying that part of it as well.
Yeah.
And it's just so damn fun to beat people up.
It is, very much so. They added so much to the character. There's so much stuff you can do. It's ooh, you really messing these dudes up. Some of these people shouldn't be alive.
Right.
I know Peter and Miles supposed to be nonviolent, but nah, some of them cats ain't living.
Yeah, punching fools with electricity. I don't know how they gonna survive that one.
Yeah. But I think it's great. I think this is a fantastic year for gaming in general. I said on Chef,
I agree.
Saying here now that I said it on XP, which is coming out really soon. But last year when God of War came out, as soon as I played it, I felt like, this is my game of the year. Hands down, without a fact, this is my favorite game of the year. As soon as I got into it. Playing Spider-Man this year, as much as I love it, I can't just go out the gate and say, yeah, this is my game of the year. I feel like now
actually,
it's like I've been playing like, I have Spider-Man, I have Tears of the Kingdom, I have Mario Wonder. I have so many games I played this year that I absolutely love. It's not a clear-cut thing this year. It's like, no, it's plenty of games you can honestly say is your game of the year, and it makes perfect sense. Like, I wouldn't hear an argument. People are saying Baldur's Gate. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I think that's really cool that we have a year in gaming that's so good that I said it. I'm saying it right now. Sevens, like games that are sevens, you really don't have time to play because there's so many 9s and 10s coming out. Like, that 7 is good. It's good, but I'll get to it when I get to it. Like, I like Starfield, but Starfield to me feels like I'll get to it when I get to it. And Starfield's a good game from everything I hear, but it's too many games right now that's so great. And more coming. Like Call of Duty's on its way. It's like it's almost
Alan
like
Wake.
Alan Wake. It's like it's a lot of games I'm telling I'll get to when I get to it because there's so much stuff coming out right now and out that I'm enjoying so much. It's like, you know what? Some of these other things have to wait. But as last year, I felt like there was a lot more games that were 7s that were like, you know what? I can play this right now and I can have a lot of fun with it. This year, I'm like, really don't have time for it.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I thought for sure Jedi Survivor was going to be my game of the year, and it's not. Yeah, this is just a fantastic year for gaming. There's just so many damn games to play that are actually really good. It's a wonderful, wonderful time to be a gamer.
And everybody's eating. That's the cool thing about it. Every console has a game like that. Like every console has a game where like, this is our game. You know, I know people want to rag on Starfield, but Starfield's a great game for many people on Xbox. Then you got Mario and Tears of the Kingdom on Switch. Then you got Spider-Man over here. You have games on every console, and I think that's dope. Forza, like it's stuff out there. Or no matter what system you're on, you have something to play that's amazing. I think that's awesome.
I saw some complaints for Spider-Man on Reddit that I was going to throw by you guys. Do you guys find that the enemies are like spongy? I've seen several folks complain that they feel like it's just too many or takes too long. I don't know. I didn't dive too deep, and I'm just kind of reading headlines as I was scrolling.
If you don't upgrade
your abilities,
you have to upgrade. You have to. There's literally a part of the skill.
I was wondering if maybe that's kind of what your Assassin's Creed thing was talking about.
Yeah, you have to upgrade your strength and you have to upgrade your health. If you don't upgrade your strength and your health, enemies are going to feel a lot tougher to beat.
Isn't it all of them? Isn't that just Spider-Man?
I don't think that there was like. Did you upgrade your strength? Like how hard you hit in the previous Spider-Mans? I don't remember.
I don't think you did.
A thing.
I think it was more like your health
gadgets and But this one, like you can punch harder, you can hit harder. There's different abilities that you have that do more. You can make it so that you hit harder in the air. So if you want to just juggle fools, there's like a whole skill tree that you can like spec into basically to do more damage airborne. But yeah, if you don't like actually look at the skill trees and decide to actually give yourself more strength, and you can be punching these fools forever.
Yeah.
The other thing that I've seen is that it's short.
It is, to my knowledge, it is short. I've heard that you can platinum it in 30 hours. In the main campaign, Haley says she beat it in 15. So is
that different than the other ones? I mean, that's miles.
Yeah, it's about the same.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking, that's about the same.
That's not too bad. I wouldn't go saying it was short when the other games were that short too.
I think Miles is a little shorter.
Yeah.
But Miles was but it's to me it's on par with the regular Spider-Man game, I think.
Yeah, they both were. That was the thing. It's the same. They say it's like the same amount of time for both games, which I don't understand why.
I remember playing
the
first Spider-Man took me longer to beat than Miles. I beat Miles in like a weekend.
Yeah.
But the first one I think took me a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like a not in a derogatory way, but it felt like an expansion. It could have been like a DLC expansion. Like for like Horizon's expansions. It could have been something like that. Or Last of Us.
I agree.
All right. Well, I'm glad you guys are having fun. I saw some suit that I have no idea what it is or anything, but it was all black, and the dude was like, just man, he was like zipping off the corners, and then he would fly, and he'd fly like under the subway, and then grab it again, and he'd like run off the side of the building and just keep going. I mean, what it made me think of is like how Neo flies in the Matrix, and like I was watching this, and I was like, that's what we need. Like we need this, but the Matrix. we need Sony to get on that. Like we have got a studio that can do this for you.
I think I know what Sudi's talking about. I guess I can say it because it's a spoiler, but
There's
it's
so many damn suits.
I don't even know what it is. Yeah, it's not, I'll say this: I've never seen it before. I don't recognize it. It's not.
There's
like
a lot of suits that you probably would have
suit.
never recognized. There's so many suits in this game that if you don't know a lot of Spider-Man, you've probably never seen these suits. And even with that, there's some that are they're just out there.
Yeah, some weird ones too.
He's kind of wearing like a jacket or like a coat, or like a trench coat or something. I guess maybe like maybe like wings. I'm not sure.
Sound like you're talking about Spider-Man Noir.
I didn't study it too much, but it looked cool. It looked dope. It was a really cool display of just traversal. It was very impressive.
Traversal is absolutely incredible. The amount of speed you can get, the height you can get, throwing on the web wings and finding like the air currents to just take you further. Yeah, and then you can there's also ability to make it so that you can glide longer and have additional bursts in the air and stuff. Like there's just so much to do with the traversal. Like you can probably get from one side of the map to the other without even having to like swing. It's crazy.
Wow.
Pretty big map too.
It's huge. Map is freaking huge.
I wouldn't even think of like, is that a good thing for a Spider-Man game?
Yeah,
absolutely. With the way you move and how fast you can traverse.
Yeah, but I mean, does it feel very Spider-Man? Like, isn't Spider-Man the whole thing to be swinging?
Yeah. Yeah. But again, like when you want to go from one island to another, and the fact that there's very no way to swing across the water.
It's like very Just Cause.
I've never played Just Cause.
It's like that.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, it's better. Just Cause hasn't been around in a decade. It's better, but like that idea, like that more or less that idea was like very Just Cause. Just Cause did that, that was pretty revolutionary stuff when it did it back in the day, being able to just like paraglide at all times. And now we do it, and we do it in Zelda, and we do it in Far Cry, and now everybody does it. But
yeah, I think the web wings was put in there more than anything, so you can go from one island to another without having to swing. You can just glide.
Yeah, so there's nothing to swing.
Yeah,
because there's nothing to swing. Sense. And then you can also like slide across the water, boost up, and then boost out again. So
I saw that.
Dope.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yep,
and it's so fluid. I don't even use the fast travel. Like I don't need to use that. I just web swing where I want to go. So that's
good. I mean, that's when you know traversal is good.
Yeah. I don't even think about using fast travel. I was like, I'll just fly there. It's cool.
Yeah, I haven't even tested fast travel. And the funny thing, you can unlock fast travel to like almost anywhere once you level up. Like once you do enough stuff in each borough, you unlock fast travel there. I don't even know if I've unlocked fast travel to anywhere because I'm like, for what? I just want to swing across the world. The traversal feels so good. I don't want to use the fast travel.
That's me with like GTA. I feel very similar. I use fast travel. Fast travel is
hella fast.
I use fast travel a bit in Zelda, but that's just because the long distance, man. It'll take you hours to walk over there.
It takes a little longer in Zelda. So.
Yeah.
I use it in Cyberpunk because the driving just doesn't feel that great.
Oh no, I drive everywhere the whole time.
I'm fast.
And I hate that I always have to find a terminal. I'm like, this sucks. If it was more convenient, if I could just like open my menu and do it, I maybe would. But the fact I'm like, never mind. I'll just throw in some radio and I'll head over there.
I don't like the radio in the game. I think that's the other thing. There's nothing on that radio that I want to hear. So
gotcha.
Like, we're
That'd
just
be a part of it.
Find a fast travel kiosk and go over there. All right. Enough of what the hell we've been playing, what we've been up to. Donnie, let's get into this news.
Let's do it. No TikTok tonight. Just kind of not in the mood. So we talked about Metal Gear Solid, and the Master Collection is out, and it came out to middling reviews, and it's got lots of. It seems like the bugs and stuff are all on the PC version. Are there bugs and stuff on the console versions? I mean, the Switch version I took for a spin. It seems fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I have the PS5 version, but I haven't played it yet.
So I haven't read anything about the console versions. I've only heard negative stuff about the PC port.
I played Metal Gear Solid for about an hour on Switch, and I know we made a lot of talk of there was lots of talk about it not being at 60 and all that, and like it should be because it's an old game, but like I played it at 30 when it first came out, and I just played it again, and it didn't bother me at all to play it at 30. Like it's still it's still good. So the Switch is actually a really nice place to play it. If anybody's looking for a recommendation, or at least the first one. I didn't play the other two, but Metal Gear Solid is really nice on Switch. So the files were data mined after it released, of course. And we now have references to the additional games, which have been rumored before. We saw references to these on the website, right? We know that this is Master Collection Volume 1. We knew there was a Volume 2 was going to be on the way. We discussed what they were going to do. I remember I was thinking I wanted Acid. Of course, everybody wants Metal Gear Solid 4. Like that's the big one. It looks like we're going to get Volume 2 Master Collection, Metal Gear Solid 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, and Peace Walker.
That's great.
It'll be another $60 release. I wonder. I mean, so like if this is true, I will probably just get it on Switch because I already have Metal Gear Solid 5 on PC, and I don't want to pay $60 for Metal Gear Solid 5 again. Like it'd be nice if you already own Metal Gear Solid 5, you get a discount, but we all know that's not going to happen.
How is that going to run on Switch though? How's 4 and 5 going to run on Switch?
Probably at 30. Maybe by the time it comes out, we'll be in Switch too. But we don't have a date. I don't think it's coming out next month, man. I think it's going to be a while.
I know, but I'm just thinking in my head about 4 and that long ass install process and all that shit.
I think 4 would be okay. I think 4 would be fine. You can play. There are people that are emulating 4 on the ROG. I mean, I know the Ally is more powerful than the Switch. They're playing that damn thing at like 100 frames a second on the Ally at 1080p. Like 4 is not a very demanding game to run. I think it's just you got to really optimize the port based on the game code. Mm-hmm. But it's not. It doesn't take. I think 4 can run on the Switch just fine. 5 though.
My fear is
5 might be.
Will
problematic.
they do that? Yeah. Will they
here's
do
the thing with 5. I don't even know. Like it may if we don't have a Switch 2 by then, does this even come to Switch at that point?
Right.
Yeah.
I think I'm more worried about 4 just because modders seem to be able to get everything to run the way that
there's already a patch, by the way, for Metal Gear Solid Master Collection to up-res it. It's already out.
Right.
Oh,
they've already done it on PC.
This is what drives me nuts. Like the modders find ways to fix all of the problems in the game and get them to run the way they should. But the devs don't seem to be able to. They just don't do that.
There's got to be like a reason. Like even the mod, I took a look at the mod for the up-res just because I was curious, and the mod even said like, "Hey, expect issues with UI with control." Like, so that's probably why. Like, yeah, they got the resolution up if you're willing to play like a more buggy experience. And I was like, nah, never mind. I was trying to play it at 720 anyway. Like, I'm not even trying to play it at 1080.
That's my worry about Metal Gear Solid 4. Like, I don't know what they're going to do with that because it's a PS3 game. And
I'm telling you, I think that'll be the one that runs well. That'd be the way that I think that'll be the one that runs well. Metal Gear Solid 5, though. Like these big open world games, like a Metal Gear Solid 5 is a highly optimized game. It's very scalable. That on regular Switch hardware sounds not
atrocious.
Yeah. Like if they get it running well, it could be fun. It could be great.
Yeah. Peace Walker on Switch sounds dope. I mean, that'd be fun.
That is going to be great.
Yeah. I'm going to get it.
All of that.
But I just don't like that we're going to buy 5 again. It would be nice if they sold them separately.
It would be nice if they would just remaster 1.
Because you can get Metal Gear Solid. They're going to.
Metal Gear
it's going to happen.
They're going to.
Stop this other shit.
It's going to happen.
All this other shit and just give me what I want. God damn it.
Well, speaking what you want, Xbox had a partner preview today. And the big story from it is that they showed Metal Gear Solid Delta, and we got our first in-engine look at the game.
There you go.
Kind of running. We got like what appeared to be some cinematics and some gameplay.
That's why I laugh.
It looks great. As we expected.
Great.
I mean, it looks really nice.
I want it.
Oh yeah, day one, easy purchase.
Yeah.
So after that one comes out, Dev, then your time will come.
I don't.
All you have to do, Dev, It's
It'd
live.
be hilarious if Konami was like, Metal Gear Solid 3, we're going to stop there. It's the only one that matters. It was just like,
It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me. Look, but you know what? I got Final Fantasy VII remake. I believe.
I believe too. It's going to happen. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge.
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Resident Evil 4 remake. It's going to be like that. It's going to be massive when the Metal Gear Solid remake comes out.
Yeah.
Before I continue on talking about some of these games, this was interesting because Xbox announced this last week, and in their announcement, they really, really lowered expectations, which I think has a lot of people today going, that wasn't that bad. Well, of course it wasn't, because they told you it wasn't going to be very good. Because last week they were saying at the top of their blog post last week, in highlighted yellow, before you even read the article, it had a disclaimer. There will be no mention or inclusion of Activision, Blizzard, King Games, or Game Pass announcements in this preview. Like, they were quick. Like, don't say it. It's not happening.
Leave us alone.
Yeah. And then, I mean, good on them. They're setting expectations. Good on them. I'd rather them do that than not do it. Because if they didn't do it, absolutely people would be like, 18 Call of Duties are going to show up in Game Pass today. But then they said, we're having a showcase with our third-party partners. So this was like the PlayStation, what do they call them? Directs? State of Plays?
State of Plays.
But the ones were just the third-party stuff and not the first-party stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And in the mention, I don't remember what they said, but they were like, we'll have a trailer for Alan Wake, and I specifically remember chuckling. They were like, an Ark Survivor Evolved. I'm happy if you guys are happy about that, but like I have zero excitement when they're like, hey, come hang out with us and let us watch Ark together. I'm like, no thanks.
Did they show Vin Diesel again?
Right, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm pass.
That's the only question I have about that game.
But they did have the event today, and of course, they kind of under-promised and over-delivered. So I think the reaction to it was positive, and they had some cool stuff. The Alan Wake trailer was good. They did show Ark Survivor Ascended. There was the Metal Gear thing. That was a surprise. The other thing that I think was a surprise, although I'm not sure how many people even know about it, but Spirit of the North 2 was announced and coming soon.
The hell is Spirit of the North 1?
Yeah, see, I don't know if that many people played that game. Did you play it, Delvin?
Yes.
Same
I didn't
here.
play much of it, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I played it as well. Josh played it. Josh tipped me off on it. Spirit of the North is this Fox adventure game where you go around as this fox, like kind of completing puzzles. And it was kind of like Stray, but a fox.
Correct.
It's like Stray before Stray, but fox instead of a cat. It's a very similar type of game. Kind of puzzle platforming adventure game. My wife really loved it. It was actually, she played more of it than I did. I'd actually just kind of sit next to her while she played it. So Spirit of the North 2.
So are you going to get 2?
Yeah, I'm going to get 2 for sure. I was kind of hoping maybe it comes a Game Pass. Because I am didn't PlayStation have marketing on the first one? It was like all PlayStation all the time. Yeah. So I was surprised to even see it there. So I don't know. We'll see.
Let me see.
One that I was excited for, there's a game that was at the Summer Game Fest showcase, Still Wakes the Deep, which I believe is coming to Game Pass. This is from what are they called? I know the game they did. Who made Everybody's Gone to the Rapture?
Mm.
The Chinese Room.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're making this game, and it's like this horror game that's taking place on what appears to be like an oil refinery out in the ocean, and you're like going underwater and stuff, and like trying to look around corner. It looks very spooky and mysterious, and I'm here for it. There was a trailer for Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, which revealed that the game will have basically Animal Crossing. There's like a side story called Dundako Island, where you'll unlock it while you're playing the campaign, and you will run around and like gather materials by like smashing things with a bat and stuff. And then you can go fishing, you can pick up trash, you can buy furniture, you can customize your home. So it's just, it's Yakuza Animal Crossing. Yakuza Crossing.
This is the other Yakuza game that's coming out really soon.
Mm-hmm.
Because the one I want to play, The Man with No Name, comes out next month. And that's
nice.
The mainline one. That's the one.
Are you going to play this one?
Most likely, yeah. But
I love the idea of like I don't think it will, but I love the idea of like Yakuza going very viral for like being an Animal Crossing game.
That would be cool.
And like people like this, people lose their minds like making Yakuza houses.
Yes.
It'd be very funny.
This is the turn-based one, if I remember correctly.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I don't dig that deep into Yakuza. I tried a couple, they're not for me, and I moved on. I bought the hype because of Elaine, and I realized quickly I don't like these games.
Yeah, I love these games. I know we talked about it before, how much I like Shenmue. Then I was like, I didn't need a new Shenmue game. I have Yakuza. This is the new Shenmue game. This is the better version of it. Someone said, you know what? This was okay. No, we'll make it way better. And that's what I've been playing instead of Shenmue. Yakuza games.
It's a popular game. Manor Lords is a homestead builder kind of management game that's coming to Game Pass on PC. Thunderful showed up publishing a new game from Future Lab called Icaro Will Not Die. It's a new futuristic neon action roguelite.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, it looked cool. It was a cool trailer. It's hard to tell. I mean, it was gameplay, but it was so cut up with so many transitions and stuff. It's hard to tell exactly like what we're doing and what the game will look like. I'd like a gameplay demo, but it might be up Dev's alley. I don't know.
No.
You'd be excited, Delvin. RoboCop Rogue City got another gameplay trailer.
I've already played it, so I don't need to see the gameplay trailer for that.
Yeah, you just play the demo, right?
I'm interested in that one.
It's not the whole game.
Yeah, but I already know what it is. It's a dumb, fun RoboCop game. So, that's what I played so far. I like it a lot.
I think people are gonna. Yeah, I think people are gonna like it. I don't think Steam. You played it on Steam Deck, right?
Correct.
I don't think Steam Deck's the best place to play the game. You need to play the game.
That is also correct.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
that is also correct.
You need to play that on PS5.
And that's where I'll be playing it on PS5. It comes out. I think if you buy the early edition, it's like a $69.99 version. It comes out on Halloween, and the regular version comes out like November 2nd.
Nice.
So it's really.
We got another trailer for Dungeons of Hinterberg. This is a developer trailer where they were explaining the game as it went through it. This game didn't do a whole lot for me at Summer Games Fest. It still doesn't. It's got a neat art style, though. I think a lot of people will say Hi-Fi Rush because it's very comic-y, like cartoonish. It actually reminds me more of like Ollie Ollie World than Hi-Fi Rush particularly, but like you're to run around with with a sword and smash things and do all that. Might be good. Then there was an interesting one. I'm not going to play it, but I do admit I think it looked great. There's a trailer for a game called The Finals, which is a new free-to-play team-based competitive shooter that takes place like in an arena. Like there's like an arena surrounding like an actual world, and you go into the world and shoot everything. But there's like it's like Rome, right? It's like Gladiator. Like they're just the stadium around you cheering you on while you're doing it. It looks, at least the trailer. I'm just judging it based off the trailer. Obviously, I haven't played or seen gameplay, but the trailer looks like what I would expect a great live service esports game to look like. That's it. They made esports the game. Like that's what it should be.
It's basically like if you were to take, what's the Titanfall game?
Apex.
Apex. Yeah, if you take Apex, it's 3-on-3. You put it in an arena with the crowd, and that's the.
But it looks nice. Like it looks expensive.
Yeah.
Like it looks well done. Not, not like some of these kind of, not like Hyperscape, right? It looks better than that. Like it looked nice. I was like, I'm not into this, but it looks good. I give that I won't give it a try, but I'll at least give it a good shout out for folks that are into games like that. If you're into the Apexes, or there was a couple of them, like obviously it was PUBG. This looks 1,000 times better than PUBG. What was that other one though? There was that one that kind of got going there for a while. It's called like Insurgency or something. It's on Switch and things like that. Like, yeah.
There's Rogue Company. There's a bunch of these.
That might be it.
This is just yet another one of them. And this one is more about like there's a cash box that you got to deposit or some other stuff. It's just another arena squad based shooter.
Yeah.
This one just happens to have a crowd and like a sportscaster. So
I thought the presentation though was
the only trailer I watched, by the way.
It looked like it was from like a developer, like that's got like some serious money behind it. Like it looks, looks really nice.
I've always found these games, the characters more interested in the game itself. Like that's my whole thing with Overwatch. I'm like, I love these characters, but I don't want to play that game.
Yeah,
I'd rather play
something about Apex.
Yeah, it's not
same
for
thing.
us. Yeah, they don't. It's not for
Yeah,
us.
it's not for not that it's bad or anything. It's just like
This isn't the
not type of game
podcast
I
you're
like to
looking
play.
for. Like we aren't.
Yes.
We aren't going to be that
And I-
podcast for games like this.
And I have friends who work on those type of games, and I'm like, oh, it's glad you enjoy it, but it's not for me.
Yeah,
Shout out to you though.
it's free. You can go. If you're into it, you can give it a try. It doesn't cost you a damn thing. There's an open beta kicking off tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow on Xbox. So that was a little partner preview. Ultimately, like I said earlier, I think expectations were way low. Metal Gear showed up, so I think a lot of people are happy with it. I think maybe the more important takeaway from this is it seems like this was very much like an Xbox Direct, right? Like cut up like trailers back to back, doing the Direct style. We've talked about this for years. Xbox has been like dragging their feet against this kind of. Like they keep doing these long form interviews, and they've been doing their inside Xbox shows that were like 4 hours long, and their indie shows that were 2 hours long. Like I got the sense that maybe they wanted to like try this out and see like what their reach might be, even if like their big announcements weren't involved, like as maybe like a testing the water. I don't know.
Smart move.
Yeah. And you give the rub to a couple of your partners and you show off some games. Yeah. It's not bad.
Just test the water, see if people like it. If people like it, well, we know how to do it now. Here's our formula with it.
And they're the thing I always say about Microsoft, they're so feedback driven. They're so analytical. Like if this does numbers, you'll get more of it. If it doesn't do numbers, you'll get less of it, because that's like how they make their decisions, is based off of that feedback. If you're tweeting about how much you liked the Metal Gear thing at the Xbox show, they'll do more of those shows. So,
yeah.
Continuing on the Microsoft train, Microsoft records record Q1 for gaming revenue all time. They've had their best Q1 of gaming revenue in the history of the Xbox division, or the Microsoft gaming division. Partly driven by Starfield.
I feel like we're going to be hearing that a lot soon. Just saying.
What's that?
We're going to be hearing that a lot soon with Microsoft.
What's that?
Considering who they just bought.
Oh, yeah.
They just hit their record Q1.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of that really soon.
Good point. Revenue is up 9% year over year, even as hardware revenue dips 7% during the same time. So their hardware sales are declining. They are making more money. So take that, read that as however you want. Starfield generated the highest single day ad of Game Pass subscribers in the history of the service. I don't think that's saying a whole lot. Are you guys surprised by that?
No.
You said
I'm
wow.
not surprised, but that's cool.
I didn't say wow.
That's pretty cool.
I would expect it to be.
I would think,
yeah.
I would, yeah.
I mean,
that's like their biggest day one release on Game Pass. What was bigger,
Mm-hmm.
Halo?
Halo
I
was
was going to say
supposed
Halo
to
will
be.
probably be up there. Halo's supposed to be that, but
It was supposed to be.
Yeah, but I think. Well, hang on. I'll
But-
read. No, hang
I was
on.
gonna say
Go ahead.
Halo wouldn't be, because Halo is just the Microsoft people.
Yeah,
Your Starfield is speaking to a whole different audience. It's speaking to like the Bethesda
go.
audience,
Yeah.
as well as
That
all
is
the
good
all the
point.
people who were playing like those third party games. So it's like, oh well, let me go ahead and try Game Pass so I can check this out. So that's gonna.
I thought
draw
I
in a
wrote
whole
it
different
down.
audience.
I was going to say this and then say a point, but I didn't write it down. But they also talked about how Starfield was like the second best-selling game of the month in September, like best-selling.
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't Game Pass games. It's literally copies sold, which goes to show how far of a reach I think Starfield has on PC. No offense to consoles, but it's got to be PCs driving that hard. So you got to think the people that are joining Game Pass are probably new customers on the PC side that haven't been as exposed to Game Pass as they have on the console side. So that's probably a part of this. I mean, I would have guessed that if you'd asked me in September or August if Starfield would be the most, day one new Game Pass subscriber, I would have said, yeah. It's like their biggest game of like a year of the past couple years.
I'm curious of how many of those collector's editions they sold.
Now they'll smash this when Call of Duty shows up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like not
Without question.
not Modern Warfare 3 maybe, but like when the next day and date Call of Duty comes up, they will smash this number easily. So, Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, had an interview And it was actually a really good interview. I posted on our Discord. It wasn't nearly about games or anything like that. It was about him and his upbringing. Apparently his dad was a Marxist and all kinds of other stuff. Like, it was an enjoyable read of just kind of his history, where he comes from. But they did ask him about the Activision, just like one kind of question. And he basically said, hey, we're doubling down on gaming. And then he said this quote, for us, there are a few things that go all the way back for us as a company. Gaming is one, right? When I think about Microsoft, I think of perhaps developer tools, proprietary software, and gaming.
Okay.
So a lot of people were like, hey, they're back. Like, they're committed. I think they were committed when they spent like $70 billion.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they've been committed with all these acquisitions and what they spending.
It was funny to read the headlines. Xbox is committed to gaming. It's like, yeah, I'm sure they were when they spent $9 billion on Bethesda a couple years ago, guys. It's a lot of money, surprise. Man. Pretty funny. Steam has announced that they are changing the prices in other territories like Turkey and Argentina to the United States dollar starting on November 20th. Ultimately, this change will impact 27 countries. Valve cites inflation, exchange, and developer requests. Developers are tired of people. Apparently, there are a lot of people on PC that switch the region of Steam to a cheaper region to buy a game at a cheaper price, and they switch it back, and they still have the key. So, if you do that,
that's the thing you can do.
You better buy some stuff right now.
That was a nice way to do that.
Well, so I don't do that, but I do buy keys online from other retailers that I think do that. So I'm thinking some of my keys might be a little harder to come by moving forward. Steam hasn't had, we got a question. I'll save it. We got a question about Steam sale. Night Dive announces that Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster will launch on February 28th, 2024. You guys ever play that?
Okay. I played the original PS1. Not something I mentioned to go back to. It's basically a Doom-like shooter.
Oh, maybe I'll like it. They told me that about the last one I got, and I didn't like that one either.
I mean, it's Star Wars, so you're not going to like it. But
I don't know. I got one on Switch because people were like, it was good, and it's a shooter, and you'll like it, and I got it, and they didn't like it.
This is from that era, like the original Doom. So that's what it looks like. That's what it moves. It moves like Doom, Wolfenstein. That's the kind of shooter it is.
Yeah.
In the other one wasn't a boomer shooter. It was a shooter. It's not a boomer shooter.
It's just
you're talking about
and plays like Wolfenstein, but it's Star Wars.
I know it's one Donnie talking about. He's talking about the one with the clone troopers. I can't remember
the name of it. Yeah. I didn't like that one. Media Molecule to lay off 15 or 20% of their staff. This was according to reports, but then Media Molecule also posted things that they were downsizing. Nobody really knows how many jobs it is.
I thought they said it's 20 people.
Well, I think it is. If it's 15, I think it's 15 or 20%. I think that where that number is coming from is the reported number is 15 to 20% of staff, and their staff is 100 to 120 people. So I think that's where the 20 is coming from. But nobody, I tried looking yesterday. Nobody has like a number, and it may not even be known yet. So probably somewhere between 15 and maybe 30, 40 people, somewhere in there, probably being let go by Media Molecule. It's a bummer. We also had reports that the support studio that helps Naughty Dog had layoffs. So there's also crazy reports of kind of some executive leadership leaving PlayStation, but I'm going to wait for somebody to do a better job on reporting on that one. But yeah, so it looks like PlayStation's shuffling the cards a bit and tightening the belt. And our rumor control this week, according to data miners, the first paid expansion for Diablo 4 will be called Lord of Hatred. We'll have a story based around the demon Mephisto, the older brother of Diablo and Baal.
Wow.
Okay.
That's cool.
Are you guys going to play Diablo?
No.
I was going to play it, but then Baldur's Gate came out, and I was like, all right, guess I'm playing it now.
I had some FOMO in the beginning, and then I realized it's Diablo, and I've played this game many times, and I really don't have a whole lot of desire to go down that road again. I know what this is. I'm good.
Yeah. I don't feel like I can play this and Baldur's Gate.
I feel like this game really came and
different.
I feel like this game really came and went.
But they take a lot of time.
Didn't it?
It did. I mean, mainly because like nobody plays Diablo really for the people who play Diablo aren't paying attention to the story. It's like, let me see how fast I can level up and then start doing like the end
comfort food.
Stuff. And there just wasn't, I don't feel like it really lived up to like what Diablo 3 was or even Diablo 2. So it just kind of fell off and it's not being talked about. Like I had one friend who was big playing and he's just like, yeah, I'm playing.
And we had a lot of friends, a lot of podcasters, a lot of people in Discord. I mean, people were hyped. Diablo event's a big deal, and like it was for like 5 days, and then
like a week,
we never heard about it again.
Yeah. And I think another part of that is we don't have people who are playing that game for the end game. Like they actually are playing it to get through the like.
That's how I played. And that's how I played Diablo 3. I played it just to do the story and get to the end and get the cutscenes. And once they were like, you can just keep going, I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I like Diablo as a portable game. Like for me, that kind of mindless, dungeon crawling and stuff, like that's a perfect game for Switch while I'm like watching TV or something. That's how I played Diablo 3. So for me, I really wasn't interested in Diablo 4 until portability came along, which it did now with Steam. I could, but I didn't grow up on Diablo. So for me, Diablo was always like a cheap get. I got Diablo 3 on Switch, I think at half off for like $30. I'm not a day one Diablo person.
Yeah, me either. I like the story. That's why I played it.
Their cutscenes are epic. Like they really blow it up, man. It's really nice.
Blizzard knows how to make cutscenes.
Yeah, they're really good at
story
it.
and the narrative. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so funny. I always feel, I don't know, left out, but like whenever I've talked to a Diablo fan and I'm like, yeah, I play it for the story, they're like, what?
Right.
I couldn't look like worse. Yeah, I couldn't look worse of a noob. Like, what a dork.
So weird. Like, and it's crazy because the stories that they craft are like really good.
Yeah.
And people are just like, oh, I'd skip the cutscenes.
I'm
just trying to get gear. Like,
playing Diablo 3 is good. Like that part of the game, I wish I could put like on auto.
Same.
Like,
I don't feel like doing all that mess.
Like they could pull like some Forza stuff and just let me auto assign and upgrade. Like just let me pick some stuff that looks cool and you just keep doing the stats thing. I don't care. I don't want to care. I don't want to be thinking about damage per second and what my spell does to my potion thing. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, just give me the thing that hits the hardest.
I need a big hammer and we left alone. A big hammer, get the fuck out of the way. I got this.
Yeah, I agree.
We have another rumor this week. Tom Henderson of PlayStation Portal and PlayStation Slim fame. Speaking of the PlayStation Slim, so we're seeing boxes come out. Now, I've been looking around for a PlayStation 5 Slim revision, whatever we're calling it, new model versus the old model. We still have yet to have, I believe, a concrete side-by-side. But based on the controller, the size of the controller, people have rendered size compared. No. Because like when they did the first blog post, they showed the console next to a controller. You got the PlayStation, the new revision next to the controller. So based on the scale of what the controller is, the people have rendered what they expect it to look like next to the revision. It's significantly smaller. I remember this came out, and Dev, you're like, it's the same thing. It's not. Like, it's significantly smaller.
30% smaller.
If those renders are the same, like it's like it's not the same thing. It's significantly smaller.
It's the same fucking thing.
It's not. You can't say that. It's
30% smaller.
And here's the thing.
So really matter.
So now we've got boxes showing up to retail stores. We actually have boxes next to the old, and it's significantly smaller box.
Same system, same
it's
thing.
Not.
Doesn't
it's
really
not.
matter.
I can't wait to see one. I want to see one because I think if this will fit in my cubby, I might get one.
You're not getting one because the
thing
if you're gonna get it,
if it's in my cubby,
get it. You're not gonna play it, and then you're gonna sell it.
I didn't say I'm getting one. Yeah. Listen here. I didn't say I was getting one November 12th or whatever it launches.
No, you're never gonna. I just said one.
Maybe.
No. There's no point. Because it's going to sit there and you're going to sell it. Just save yourself the trouble.
Just wait.
Yes.
There's no. If
it fits in the cubby, it's a big deal for me. Because then I don't have to rewire things like I did the last time and put it on top and have this giant tower touching the ceiling and shit. Like if it can fit in the cubby, it's a big deal.
We can just not have to deal with this.
Yeah, well,
I pray that it's too big for
and
the
I like
cubby,
that
just so we don't have
stand.
to deal with this.
Like if I can get it and the stand like used, if I can pick up somebody else's, I might be interested.
I pray to God.
But I got to get the stand. I can't be having the stupid kickstand shit. That's ridiculous. I need the actual stand. So we'll see. I like it. But anyway, back to the rumor. Tom Henderson says the next Far Cry game is a multiplayer centric extraction shooter set in an Alaskan based environment.
Get that out of here!
Yeah. That.
He also said that this one will come before the next Far Cry. So that sounds terrible.
Yes.
What's the
Who cares?
what was the not the Division, what was it? The Rainbow Six extraction game that came out? Remember it got delayed, came out. Yeah,
Extraction, yeah.
Nobody liked it either.
People played it. That's not people played the hell out of that game. People played
People
Rainbow
play it.
Six.
I thought people sold really poorly.
I don't think it was very expensive, but people played it.
Dude, that game
Like
was
Rainbow Six
delayed in
expansion.
development for like years.
Yeah, people played it.
Wasn't it an expansion?
There's a pretty large Rainbow Six like player base that play the shit out of that game. It's the same. Like we don't hear about it because we don't care. We don't like.
No,
Apex.
it's not like Siege. Siege has. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I'll just say I don't know. So maybe you're right. I don't what the fuck do I know about Rainbow Six?
Yeah.
But I just thought it was pretty widely known that it did not sell well at all, and it was kind of a disappointment.
Once they said I couldn't play Rainbow Six by myself, I was like, fuck this.
Well, same.
I'm done.
Well, so I mean, the thing that I want to talk about is I think because we follow Far Cry so closely, or at least I do, and vis-a-vis you guys do as well, this isn't a surprise. I've been talking about since Far Cry 6 how I've not liked this idea, this rumor that's been constantly floating around that Far Cry's going live service. This sounds like their attempt to do so. Like they've been trying to do this rogue shit in DLC and whatnot. Like it's clear that they're dancing around, they're beating around the bush of trying to make Far Cry their next live service something or another. And this will be its chance.
Please don't.
It's not even fucking Far Cry. Like Far Cry is not an extraction shooter. Like that's not Far Cry in any way, shape, or form.
Didn't Far Cry 5 and 6 both had co-op extraction modes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just going to do that the game.
Give me the goddamn ridiculous story that Far Cry is supposed to be. I don't want to play with people at all.
When did Far Cry 6 come out? 2020?
I want to say 2021.
It is 21. You're good. So this game, I imagine, will come out in 25, maybe announced next year, which means that we won't get 7 until at least 26, if not 27. Like our next Far Cry game.
Long enough to forget about how terrible this game is, and then get excited for Far Cry 7.
This is very sad. It's sad to me that we won't play Far Cry 7 until near the end of the damn decade.
Yeah, all we gotta do, devs, keep living, baby.
And that's if they don't delay the whole damn thing, 18 times. Wonder if Skull and Bones will make it out before then.
Oh my God, Skull and Bones.
Probably
Jesus
not.
Christ. Skull and Bones is going to end Ubisoft, and we're never going to see Far Cry 7.
Oh, don't say that. So I'm not going to. I can't. I'm not going to buy this game. Like, there's not that I would be that interested anyway, but like I would buy it out of spite. Like I don't want to support this project. Like I don't want it to succeed. I need the world to send Ubisoft a stern message that we don't want this with the Far Cry name on the box. Stop it. Stop doing it. Stop messing around. Stop fucking up a good thing.
Yes, I agree.
Anyway, that's it for the news. Dev, take it away.
All right. The Rube Day segment. There's been no updates. The score is still Delvin and Donnie 22 and me with a lowly 21. We've got a John 32 special. He wants to know over or under 75.5 for WarioWare Move It. The last WarioWare game, Get It Together, got a 76.
Ooh.
That's a good line.
I'm gonna go over.
It makes me honestly. It makes me want to counterpick it. I'm not sure.
I did that.
I think people are ready. I think they want WarioWare to be good. I think you might be
First
right.
of all,
Like,
let's
can I
not
be
do people.
positive?
Let's just think critics. All right, critics.
Well,
Because
that's
they
what I
just
mean.
rate shit terribly.
That's what I mean. I think critics want WarioWare to be good. The only thing that I've heard about WarioWare so far is that like it's a lot of movement. So for the people that don't like motion controls and like Wii and dancing around and doing jumping, I've heard from multiple people that went hands on that like you might get a work, you might be sore playing some WarioWare. I think if it's really that, if it goes that hard on it, if it's like Ring Fit Adventure, that probably leads to maybe some people saying that they don't like it as much. Maybe. Yeah. I'll take the under. Because you took the over, I'll take the under. I'll counterpick.
Now we got to change.
I don't know shit about WarioWare. I'm going to go ahead and take the under because it just sounds terrible.
Okay.
All right.
The next one is over or under 87.5 for Super Mario RPG.
Ooh.
Another game I don't know anything about. I'm going to need y'all to stop picking fucking Nintendo games, all right?
That was just in his bag, man. He's very upset.
Pick real games, goddammit.
Wow. You need to play a real game. Play some damn Mario Wonder. Feel like a kid again.
Mario Wonder. I'm never... no, that won't make me feel like a kid again. Not at all.
Mario RPG is one of the most beloved video games of all time.
Okay. And
I'm going to take the under. Because I don't know. I'm wondering if I think graphically people are going to be very happy, but I'm wondering if it's one of those things where the nostalgia, the rose-colored glasses is better than the actual return. And I'm wondering if people replay it now and they're like, yeah, like I love it, but it's not maybe as great as I remember. I don't know. And that might just be, I've always been kind of a RPG hater. I'm not that big in Mario RPG.
Shit, I want to take the under. You know what? I'm taking the under. Fuck that. I'm not taking a chance.
Oh, come on.
I already took a chance with the first one.
Okay. So we already took one chance. Take another chance.
Yeah, that's how you do it. No.
Can I just abstain?
I only can afford to... No.
Deb says you can keep the point. I don't want this point.
I don't even want to play this game anymore with these stupid Nintendo games.
It's been fun. We're very close.
I'm taking the under. You can kick.
We all three taking the under? Yeah. Rebecca's going to have our ass.
No, she's not.
She's going to be so damn mad.
Be mad.
This record against us.
She can be big mad.
And drop bars.
Be a man, Hulk.
Be a man, Hogan.
That was the greatest diss record of all time.
Man, that Macho Man album is just fire. This one goes out to my good friend Kurt Hennig. Oh man, I love that album. That album is fantastic. All right, enough of rude days.
I hope so.
Pissing me off with freaking Nintendo games. Let's get into these questions. TPR says, today is the day I moved back into my apartment after 12 days of vacating due to a maintenance emergency, and he's so relieved and excited. He wants to know, what's a time in your life you were so grateful to be back at home?
Every time I leave?
I was just getting ready to say the same thing. Every time I go on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even enjoy vacation. My wife makes fun of me when we're in groups and we're talking. I'll go on vacation. I'll enjoy myself for about 2 days. Day 3 rolls around, kind of ready to go back home. I never really want to be arraying anywhere for too long.
See, I can go longer than that. I can enjoy a nice 7-day cruise, but I'm just always very happy to be home whenever I'm home. It's very nice.
All right.
That's where my video games are.
I always leave early.
There was this
like events and stuff. We can go.
There was this Boys to Men concert, TPR. And after that concert, I was so ready to go home. Just immediately get me the fuck out of here.
Throwbacks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Callback.
So okay, so the thing that comes to mind was years and years and years ago. Maybe in 2014, 15 maybe. I went to New Orleans to work the Super Bowl on behalf of My boss had sent me and basically pimped me out to another agency to work for free. My boss paid me, but like I didn't get extra pay to help them. So I went over there and it was cool. Like they put me up. I had a hotel room and I had like a badge and a pass and I could basically come and go what I want. But I was working like 12-hour days. Dude, I wanted to come home so bad, like so fast that because I'm working with, no offense to them, they were very pleasant, but I'm working with a bunch of strangers all day. So not only am I not home, but like I'm not getting that like reprieve when you get off of work. I'm not getting that like battery recharge by coming home like every day. So I was out there for a week, 8 days, I think. On the last day, like the Super Bowl, this was the one the lights went out in. I didn't remember who was playing, but the lights went out.
The Niners in Baltimore.
Okay, here's the hilarious part. All of our folks in Atlanta knew that I went out there, so they were sending me messages and all that. The day of the game, once kickoff started, they told me, they were like, all right, man, you gotta pass. Like you can go over to the game if you want, and like they'll let you in. You don't have a seat, but you can walk around. They're like, you can stay out, like all the bars and everything. Like you're good. Like you got us here. Like we don't need you to work anymore. Like you can just go. I literally packed up and left. I didn't do anything. I went home. I got in my car and went home.
That is the most Donnie-est shit I ever heard. Like,
and when the lights went out, people were texting me. They're like, "What did you do? Like, what happened?"
I left.
And I was like, I am already in Alabama. Not only did I get home, I got home in a record time. I remember I think I was driving like maybe 100, 110 miles an hour through Alabama because it was like rural nothingness and pitch black. There weren't even like lights on the damn road. And it was Super Bowl. Everybody was watching. There was nobody out there. Like it was just me. I was a ghost. Like I remember it just felt very, very strange and odd. Like I don't think I saw a car for like maybe like 90 minutes. Like I didn't even see a car. I was just gone. Creepy. And I was home. I drove from New Orleans back home. I think they may have cut me loose around 6 or 7. I was home midnight.
Wow.
Damn.
Well, I just walked in and she's like, what the fuck? I gotta go.
It's only 6 hours from New Orleans to Atlanta? Or not Atlanta, but to...
I don't know. I made it in record time.
That's crazy.
Why are you disappointed, John?
Because you had free reign to go to the Super Bowl.
I've been to Super Bowls. So yeah, I mean, like I've done 3 or 4 of them with my job.
Yeah.
I don't like Baltimore or the 49ers. It's 6 hours.
There's people who were killing to go to any Super Bowl.
So I think I made it in 5. I probably shaved an hour off of that time.
That's like how long it takes me to get to Vegas.
What were you saying, Delvin? I'm sorry.
I said people are paying tens of thousands to get the Super Bowls. And I'm like, nah, fuck that, son. I'm just leaving.
It was the Beyonce one, wasn't it?
Oh, that's even worse. People pay tens of thousands of dollars.
I remember that one because I remember people like salivating over the TV screen. She was like half naked, like rolling around on the stage and stuff.
Pretty nice. Nah, fuck that.
Yeah, and what am I gonna do?
The couch is better.
Like go walk. What am I gonna do? Go walk around the stadium by myself?
Yeah.
And watch 2 teams play football that I don't like with a bunch of people that I don't know.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. No, I don't blame him.
See, you gotta, from my perspective, all I was thinking of, if I did that, I still got to wake up the next day. I still got to drive home. So to me, I'm like, I'm gaining hours. Yeah. Like I'm making this back.
But I am the guy who don't give a fuck and will go to any event by themselves. I don't give a fuck. I don't even know anyone.
I'm a Niner fan. Not to know people.
The Super Bowl is not like a fun. It's not like a fun. I don't want to say that.
Uh-oh.
I'm not a big fan of live sports. Like I don't want to be there.
The Super Bowl isn't a fan-centric atmosphere. You don't feel like you're there rooting with a like fervorous crowd. There's not like the waves and chant. Like this is a bunch of rich people and celebrities.
So it's like going to a Laker game.
Yeah, everybody's just sitting around and taking photos. Like it's not like Ohio State, Michigan, or Army, Navy, or It's not anything like that. It's not USC Notre Dame.
It's not
You know.
WrestleMania.
It's not. Well, it might be like WrestleMania.
WrestleMania is kind of fun.
I think
I've
wrestling
been to
crowds are fun. It's communal. Wrestling crowds are communal. You feel like you're a part of something. My wife hates wrestling,
Yes.
and every time I've taken her to wrestling, she wants to get in on the chants. It's fun to scream. It's fun to be a part of the crowd. There is no crowd at the Super Bowl.
Nope. It's just a lot of people with a lot of money.
Yeah. A lot of old people.
Like-
You'd be surprised
like
at
Laker
how many
games.
old people go to Super Bowls. The one Super Bowl I went to, I had more fun hanging out with the Hawks players than I did anything that was going on in the field and all that. You know, like you do see a lot of celebrities. You see like Shaq walk through and stuff like that. So, but you can't like just walk up and talk to them. You know, like they've got their entourage and whatnot and security.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a boring. It's kind of a boring like laissez-faire type of crowd, if I can say that right.
To be fair, I wouldn't give a fuck about the Super Bowl either. Maybe the halftime show.
If my team was there,
That's about it.
it'd be totally different, right?
I mean, the Browns ain't never going to the Super Bowl, so you ain't got to worry about that.
And there are like hardcore fans that like sell their everything they have to go. Like they're there. And those aren't the people you want to.
You ain't even going to see those people. They're up in the nosebleeds or something somewhere.
Yeah. They're drunk. I love how you laughed at that.
So-
you were so laughing. You thought it was so funny, Devin. My team beat his team.
They did.
We beat them.
They did.
With
We've
some
also
dude
tasted and
nobody's
smelled the
ever
Super
heard
Bowl.
of playing quarterback. And he didn't even play well.
You know what?
He
We
did
beat
not play
ourselves.
well
I
at
told
all.
you. We missed that field goal kick. We beat ourselves.
Doesn't
you didn't
matter.
Beat us.
No, we beat you.
No.
Yeah.
We beat
Just
ourselves.
like the Nuggets beat the Lakers.
We lost to y'all, but we beat ourselves.
No.
That's how that works.
Mm-mm.
Y'all
The
stop
Colts
beating
played a
us.
better game than the Niners did.
And
I'm just putting it out there.
it's irrelevant. It doesn't mean anything.
We got to
We've
get
got a positive record.
I don't think they're going to get a quarterback. They're going to keep playing PJ Walker. We're doomed.
It's the Browns' way.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. So Bex has a question for us. 1989,
Oh, God.
Taylor's version, whatever the hell
this
that
again.
means, comes out on Friday. She says, which track are you most excited to hear with her modern vocals? None of them, because I have no idea what this woman sings. I can't tell you a single Taylor Swift song, and
That's
I
not
really wish I
Yes,
could
you've
stop
heard
having
Taylor
to
Swift
hear
songs.
her
Yeah,
voice.
I'm not saying that. You've heard it on commercials and stuff. That's not true.
I may have,
Yes.
but I have no idea this is a Taylor Swift song, and I'm probably like trying to get away from it. I would
If
like
somebody
to
offered
not
you
have to
$10
hear
million
her name.
to name a Taylor Swift song, you would.
Style. I love
100%.
That's a great Taylor Swift song.
I don't know any
Great
of her.
Taylor
I
Swift.
don't know the names of her songs. I don't know the names of songs a lot of the time. Period. So I don't know. I don't know a song that she sang. I can't tell you a name of it. I maybe
Bad
will sing a
Blood.
chorus of a song.
Yeah, and
But-
that's usually the name. They're not very deep, her lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good. I
fans
really
will get
wish
all
I could
mad about
just
that, too.
Stop having to hear the name Taylor Swift. To be perfectly honest, I'm
It'd
just,
be nice.
You should clip that out and just put that on the internet. Just Dev saying that and watch the people come out for it.
They can come after me all they want. I don't care. I'm not going to see it. I'm not on the internet. I'm really not.
Well, they'll find you. They'll come to your house. These people are crazy.
Please do come to my house. I'll call the cops and we'll deal with that way. Like
They
come
might
on,
be the cops.
I don't think so.
Oh, no, it might be.
Bad
So
Blood is
Taylor
on this
Swift fans
album,
come
and I
forward.
hate that song. That song's annoying.
It's okay.
So
I don't
I
know
will
why everybody's
say-
so worried about Rebecca trying to kill somebody. Like
Shake
what-
It Off.
That's the Taylor Swift song.
Of course.
Yes.
I did not know that, Delvin. I don't pay attention to this woman at all.
How do you not
He
know
knows
that's
that.
a Taylor
I'm
Swift
not
song?
even buying it.
He's
He
full
knows.
of shit.
Honestly,
Yeah, I'm not
I
even buying
swear
it.
to God, I swear to God, I know. You know why I know the song
You
"Shake
can't
It
live
Off"?
in this country and not know what Shake It Off is.
I know "Shake It Off" from Sing. I had no idea
Yeah.
that it was a Taylor Swift song.
Okay, but you know
That
it. That's all that
terrible
matters.
movie-
I
but
know
you
the
it.
song.
There you go.
I know the song, but I didn't know it was a Taylor Swift song.
You literally know the worst version of that song. How dare you?
I'm fine with that because I really
Grayson
enjoyed the
Waller's
movie
version
Sing.
was better.
Yes.
That was so funny.
Oh,
He
that
was
was
like,
at that.
this song sucks. Yeah. I mean, look, it's fine. It's one of those things that I won't understand. My daughter loves it. My wife loves it. There are legions of women that think this woman can do no wrong and that every one of her songs is a masterpiece. And they are the most simplest of bubblegum pop songs I have ever heard. I like Britney Spears' discography much better. But that's to say that none of this is really my sort of music, so it's not for me. That's okay.
Yeah, my wife nor my
I love
daughter
Britney
care
Spears.
about Taylor Swift. So
I don't think you can be like a woman and not. I'd be surprised to meet a woman that doesn't.
That doesn't like Taylor Swift?
Yeah, they're like just
my daughter does not like Taylor Swift. She can't stand it.
There are plenty. There are plenty.
Really?
My daughter and wife do not like Taylor Swift in any real way.
They are just of a different persuasion.
I made fun of Rebecca once. I told her, I was like, it sounded like a cult. And on Shaq, she didn't take to it. It's definitely a cult. Like there's so many parallels. Now, here's to say that like any severe fandom is cult-like. So like, I'm not saying that it's any different than anything else, but like hers,
like Beyonce and her Beehive, or the Bayhive, or whatever the hell they call themselves. Same thing.
Yeah, but like her folks go way too hard. You know, they're doing background checks on every boyfriend she has and past exes and pets and shit. Like that's
so
ridiculous. You should look at Nicki. You should look at Nicki Minaj fans.
Good God, people! Like, what are you doing with your life? I remember I asked Melissa. I was like, not that I'm trying to like make a sexist argument. I just think it does kind of maybe show a difference of the sexes, or maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. You're two men. Maybe I'll bounce this one off of you. I don't think I have a like similarity with this. There's no person in the world that I care about who they're dating.
Same. I could care less.
But the Taylor Swift people care a great deal. They make cakes and shit about it.
Why?
I'm like, whoa. And like, she was like, you care about your sports teams and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but I grew up and invested. And it's not like, I don't care about the people and I don't care about it on a personal level. I don't think those are apt comparisons.
To be fair, men do this for Drake, not us. But
Who?
A lot of guys do this for Drake.
What? They do? They care who he's dating?
Yes, they do. Yes, they care about his goddamn son. They care about all that stuff.
Who cares? The only reason we care about his son is because Pusha T made a diss record.
Okay, hang on.
I don't care about his son.
Hang on.
Yeah, people care about it.
Hang on. Really? Are there exceptions to the rule? There's an exception to every rule. When you say people, when I say people, I mean millions of Taylor Swift fans. They write articles about it. It's in the newspaper. It's in tabloids. I've never once seen anything ever referring who Drake was.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you anything about who Drake has ever dated.
It's out there. It's a lot of stuff out there.
I think it's just
Drake, Kanye West gets that too. There's quite a bit.
And it's not just like, I understand that like pop culture, people, they care about like celebrity couples, right? Like that I understand. I don't do it, but I know that people do that. That's not the same thing I'm talking about. Taylor Swift rumors to date somebody, and like they literally pull this whole person's life out.
Yeah.
Like I think when a celebrity couple happens, like who does oh God, I just completely went blank. The Denver Broncos quarterback to play for Seattle.
Russell Wilson?
Who's he date? He dates somebody.
He's married to Ciara.
Okay.
But like,
so like when that happened, people weren't like, here's everybody that Ciara has ever dated. Let's make a timeline. Let's find their friends and known associates. And
the only reason that the Ciara Russell Wilson thing is even like a big thing is because of Future and how terrible a dad he is. Apparently.
I'm not even trying to make that.
That's my point.
That's not the point I'm even trying to make.
We don't care. That's the point. We don't care. Nobody really cares.
Yeah. There's like
nobody's going to dig through her history. Yeah.
Yeah. There's levels to it. It depends on who you are and the celebrity status you have with it. But John 32 says Suda.
Just like his video games, man. I'm not that invested. I don't know
dating.
anything about Suda outside of his video games. I don't know if he has a brother or a sister or a cat. I don't know if he dates anybody or not. I have no fucking clue. I may not even know his real name.
His real name isn't Suda?
I think it's Gochi Suda, but like maybe it's like a ghostwriter name. Maybe it's his dev name. Maybe it's like, I don't know. You know, famous people, they make up their own names. I have no idea. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not that deep. There's nobody I'm that deep into.
Yeah, there's not a single person who I ever care about who the hell they're dating.
Yeah, and if somebody stopped, and it's not, and I'm using dating as an example, but like the Taylor Swift thing goes well beyond that. It's not just dating. Like, they know every single thing about this person.
Yeah,
I don't get it at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't care where I don't even want to know where you grew up. I don't care. I'm never gonna meet you. We're not friends. I don't care.
Yeah, like when there's celebrities or entertainers or athletes or however you want to put it, like if they come across my interests, like if they do some really cool car thing or they're on the Browns or a Buckeye or they make a great movie that I like, that's about as much as I care about them. I'm like, oh, they were in that movie I enjoyed. That's it. It literally ends there. Even my favorite musicians, I love the Chili Peppers. I don't know anything about those dudes outside of what they do. It's just the album, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I like the band. I don't need to know every woman Anthony Kiedis has slept with. Can I just listen to Arcadium and be left alone?
The only thing I know about the Chili Peppers is they went to my high school. That's it.
Wow, you know more than me.
And that's only because I went to that high school. It wasn't like I looked it up.
Yeah, so I don't know. And we just had a good conversation about it. My wife she actually agreed with me. She's like, no, I think you're right. She's like, it is kind of weird that we do this. And it's not just Taylor Swift. It's just the Swift folks go hard. Like, it's just, it's more fervorous with them. It's more zealous.
The ownership that they have around her life is scary.
Right. That's so when I was joking, it's cult like, that's where that's where it was derived from. It is. They do have a strong ownership for life. And I think she can murder somebody in cold blood on television and people would defend her. Millions.
Oh yeah. I agree.
Yeah, certain celebrities have that. Very few, but certain celebrities.
They'd be like, well, what did that person do to her?
That was digital.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Go on social media and say anything bad about Nicki Minaj and watch what happens. Watch your feed just fill up with just the
Yarn says she ate chicken nuggets with ketchup and ranch, and the next day the Empire State Building was lit with red and white lights.
What?
It's influence, man. She is the ultimate influencer. She is supreme influence.
I'm not reading your question. Not doing it.
What's his question?
Not reading it.
Oh no, we should do that. That's the fun one. We've done all of this.
It's not. I want her out of my life. I don't want to deal with her.
Yarden writes in, if Taylor Swift decides to date a basketball player next, who should it be? So the point I wanted to make.
Fuck her up.
Has she ever dated a black guy?
I don't know. I don't know anybody she's dated.
I want it to be like Ja Morant.
Damn.
I'm rooting for chaos.
That's what I feel Kyrie would be.
Kyrie's good. Kyrie's better.
Kyrie is my vote. Kyrie is my vote.
But here's the thing. The approval rating for Kyrie would turn around in an instant.
until he completely screws her.
Yeah, but that first day,
she writes a song.
People would be like, "He's so misunderstood. You guys just don't get him. You guys just don't get Kyrie.
You don't want
to. Y'all are going the wrong route. Y'all are choosing violence, so I guess I gotta choose violence.
That's all I can choose. I don't have another.
I'm going violence with y'all then. I'm going nuclear code. James Harden. Let's go nuclear. If we're gonna go there,
the beer.
Let's go there. James Harden.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh, that's so good.
Taylor Swift strip club with James Harden.
She can fix him.
Oh my God.
A disaster waiting to happen.
Smoking Joe says I would stop watching basketball if she dated Tatum. Anthony Davis. Nobody wants it to be on their favorite team, right?
No.
Jimmy Butler.
Actually, you know what?
Nope.
She can date Anthony Davis because maybe he will just leave. Maybe he'll just stop playing basketball. I don't have to worry about him anymore.
This man's
Just
hate is so
retire.
deep.
Just retire.
It's so deep with Anthony Davis.
Cannot stand AD. Ugh.
Well, Austin Reeves. It's a decent couple.
Yeah.
I don't want anything decent. I want violence and terribleness. All right.
Chris Birdman Anderson.
Wow.
Wow.
I want her to just upset. I just want her to upset her base. Suddenly neck tattoos become popular. Let's really stress the limits of here. Like, how far can we make these people go?
Yeah.
Her bad boy phase.
Yeah.
People getting mohawks and shit.
Good God.
Oh, that was hilarious, Yarden. Good question.
Yeah. From Bromigo, the Bromigo pod, he says, been seeing a lot of Spider-Man 2 is just woke propaganda.
The
Curious
fuck
to
does
know
that
your
mean?
thoughts. What?
There was a Reddit thread. I actually know something about this. I don't know what it is about. There's a Reddit thread that said describe Spider-Man 2 in one word. And I think woke was in there like 100 times. I scrolled through it and people were like, great, fun, fast, all these things. But I kept seeing woke over and over and over again. I was like, I don't know what that's about.
Makes no sense whatsoever.
I don't understand.
That's a terrible take. Whoever wrote that take is terrible. They didn't play that game for shit. Nothing about that game. They don't know what woke means. Nothing about that game says woke.
At first, like we're saying woke like it's a bad thing.
Yeah. That makes no sense.
Yeah. Those are just, I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Woke moving on.
Exactly.
Dev's glitching
John
over here. He's about to lose it.
Just, John 32 says, thought on the proliferation of current athletes having their own podcasts while still in the middle of their careers. I absolutely love it. I fucking love it.
I don't know if I
like
love
it
it, but
when
it makes
it's good.
sense.
I like it when it's good.
That's a better way, but yeah, like, not everybody needs to do it.
Some of you motherfuckers are boring as fucking
Yeah,
paint.
they're not very good at it.
Y'all don't have any character. Y'all don't have any personality. Y'all shouldn't do podcasts. You motherfuckers probably shouldn't even talk.
It oversaturates things. And then you do run into like the awkward situations where some people don't need a microphone. You're saying shit that like looks poorly on you, the team. You know, like,
I'm here for all that. That's just chaos.
Alone.
I'm not gonna listen to those podcasts, but I'm here for it because it's all just chaos, and I like to hear
players punching each other in practice and shit.
I'm all right with that. So I'm okay with that because we did. I mean, look, the '80s, we were punching fools in the games, so I'm okay with it. Let's bring back a little more violence to the NBA. I'm okay with this.
I mean, I just think it. I mean, it goes without saying. These people are at the prime or the highlight of their careers at the top level. They have notoriety just by their status and their place. So in like this modern technology age, you're going to monetize that. Everybody monetizes popularity. Mm-hmm. You're going to get,
as you should.
You're going to get, I mean, I hate that. It's not like my favorite thing about the age. So I don't agree with as you should, but if that's your motive, like if that's your goal is to monetize your popularity, then yeah, as you should.
Yeah, I'm with it. I mean, you're going to make money off me anyway. I might as well make money off me too.
Yeah, I just don't like the over subscribe, just like the general. I'm not trying to make like a pointed statement, just like the generalness of everything being ring the bell, subscribe. I've got a Patreon. I got the thing. I'm like, it's everybody does it, and it's too much, man. It's too much.
Yeah,
it's constant.
Yeah,
when everybody does it, it's not fun anymore, right? Like when it's all the time, it'd be nice if it was a little more. It's like. It would be nice to know that some of these people are doing it because they want to do it, and it's not just about monetizing their popularity. I guess that's maybe a better way of putting it.
Yeah,
it'd be nice if some of these people actually wanted to do it.
I think Draymond Green.
I agree with you. I think he wants to do it.
Paul George. I think he just wants to do it.
But I think a lot of people are doing it because there's something to be gained from it, and that's their motivation. If that went away, I don't think they keep doing it.
Yeah, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, the ones I listen to. I don't think it's that. I think it's like I've got something to say. I'm going to hang out and say it. And it's not really about me getting paid or anything like that. Like, I just want to talk and share.
Richard Jefferson's amazing.
Yeah.
I love his podcast. His podcast is great.
Road tripping. Yep.
Yeah, they're
I
so
love
good.
What's his name? So Paul George's podcast, I really enjoy Podcast P, and he has a
Wow.
lot of other NBA players.
Oh, I'm
on.
sorry. Never mind. You said Paul George. I was thinking Paul Pierce. I was like,
No,
whoa.
not Paul Pierce. I would never listen to anything Paul Pierce. No, he can kick rocks. But yeah,
Don't Anthony Davis to
is
write a I Hate Dev podcast. He just starts podcast. He does the same shit to Dev.
Do it.
He's just replaying Dev's take on PSVG. See, this is a terrible take. Dev doesn't show up a week. We can never rely on him. He's just never there.
I'm here for it.
Pulls the 180. That'd be amazing.
I love it.
I would like more of that from athletes. It
Yeah.
would be nice to see more athletes kind of give it back. But
Yeah.
yeah,
JJ
I mean,
Redick's podcast, The Old Man and the Three, is also really good.
hit or miss. I think for him it depends a lot on his guest.
I could listen to JJ Redick talk basketball without anybody else, period.
When he talks hoops, it's nice. When he starts talking about all the like how you're supposed to be and all that, like that's I kind of get lost.
I've never heard any of that. I just listen to the
He
basketball.
gets into
talk.
that a lot. But yeah, generally, I mean, I think all the athletes should if they want to, because they've got, like I said, they've got, and like this whole world with social media is just everybody talking all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's all, everything we're doing. We're just live streaming thoughts, whether it be on Twitch or Twitter or what's the other one? Blue Sky. What was the thing Instagram did?
Threads.
Is it called Threads?
Threads.
Is that thing?
Right.
Is that still a thing?
I have no idea.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Very much so.
So you could, I mean, I could also say that like generally, I think there's too much talk. There's too much analyzation. I think that leads. I actually do think that leads. And I'm not trying to sound like a boomer old man. It's not that. There is we've talked about this privately, but if you want to talk about it publicly, I do think that the amount of opinion that is out there leads to greater polarity amongst the voices and greater division of the people, because the platforms themselves shine a light or promote or propagate people saying things that get more attention than others. That's kind of the currency that's being traded. And to do that, you have to say things to get noticed. Like saying, you know, I like chicken. That's not a take that anybody cares to notice, right? Saying that, you know, some outlandish thing that gets the attention. And I think if our systems keep driving that, like that as like the platform, again, the currency that's being traded, I don't know if that is like necessarily a good thing for society as a whole.
Absolutely not. We don't need a
right.
bunch of Stephen A. Smith just making a bunch of noise.
Yeah.
What,
and like
what
we
Donnie's
see
trying to say, in the nicest way as possible, he's trying to say, now I'm going to tell you what he's really trying to say. Some of y'all should just shut the fuck up. All of y'all don't need to have a voice.
And people may think the same thing about us too. You know, I'm not trying to point fingers. People may think the same thing about us.
I am. Some of y'all should shut up. Not everybody needs a goddamn mic. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
It's just the abundance. There's so much. There's so much. It's an overwhelming amount of discussion on all matters.
Yes.
Pop culture, society, culture in general, identity, politics, sport. It's just, you know, the overanalyzation of everything. It always just I feel like it always just kind of boils down to, I have this opinion versus the people that don't. And then again, that sets up like its own line in the sand. And I generally wonder, we've talked about this. I think most people, would you agree that like social media is like a net negative? Or do you think it's a net positive? Because it's got
net
pros
negative.
and cons.
There's a lot negative.
Of information travels faster today than it ever has before. We're all more informed, possibly more educated.
No.
But then you also have misinformation, which is able to spread faster than ever before. Right. But yeah, like it's very easy to rally people against a cause.
It's a net negative because the negativity of what's out there is always going to be more proliferated than anything positive. So you think about the kids that are getting bullied at school. Now they're also getting bullied online. Like that to me trumps any information being transferred faster, because then you also have all the misinformation. So for me, it's just a complete net negative.
Yeah. And it's a deep topic. And again, I'm not pointing fingers or placing blame. I'm really just kind of pandering philosophically. Philosophically, I worry about the impact this has 40, 50, 60 years of this. Like
10 years.
Because we grew up on this. Like we saw this kind of come to age. And now you start hearing about like countries like restricting or capping, or like I actually start to get it. I'm like, yeah, we might want to start doing that. And that's so like people are, you're not going to tell me what to do. This is American freedom. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know if this is going to continue being America if this keeps going on. You know, it's like, maybe some guardrails are necessary. You see the conspiracy theories that like, they don't just get talked about, like they reach people. You know, they make new followers, new believers. That stuff is scary. That kind of dumb, like that stuff is detrimental.
The problem is, does the truth matter if you can just make up your own truth now? And it becomes the new truth. And that's the problem. Exactly. People are just making up their own goddamn truth and it's becoming the new truth.
But you're finding, it's like we are empowering those groups of people. Whatever, good and bad. Yes. Like we saw this on full display during COVID. What it is people go to social media to find people that agree with them. They don't go to find debate to learn something new. They just go for reinforcement, for validation. And then they find each other, and then they find each other in groups. And then that group starts to do group-based stuff, right? And that can impact change, good and bad. And I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It just feels like a lot of bad. It just feels like the bad outweighs the good a lot of the time.
All the time.
And maybe that's because we see so much of the negative, because that's what the machine does. Maybe there's a lot of good we just don't know about. I'm open-minded to all ends. I don't want to just say it's bad.
I mean,
these are just kind of the thoughts I wrestle with in my head at times.
Before social media, just look at the news. 90% of the news is the negative stuff, because that's what sells. That's what people remember. The positive stuff. Yeah. The positive stuff is like, oh, and we're going to do the story of the week. This is the positive thing. And nobody remembers that. It's one little
to try to make it lighter and not so heavy. I think the same thing about sports. We were talking about Stephen A earlier. Like that whole Skip and Stephen A, and like they destroyed ESPN.
Yeah.
And everything that I liked about ESPN. We used to just have like an ESPN sports show where they showed highlights and they talked about it. And it wasn't like I'm screaming at you and I offend you and you walk off the stage. It's like Jerry Springer now. Like, what the fuck is going on, guys? I just wanted you to tell me if you thought this quarterback played well or not. It ain't got to be all this fucking serious.
The whole embrace debate thing, it to completely just, I just want to watch Sports Center. Yeah, I don't need a whole debate of you yelling at him while the Cowboys are terrible. Like, I don't need all that. Like, can we just talk about the game and let's go over some highlights?
But unfortunately, that's what people gravitate toward. They gravitate towards the arguments, the disagreements.
Because
stuff like that. That's why shows.
It all happened because of the writer's strike and fucking reality TV.
I was going to say that. That's what I'm leading to. That's why shows
that
like
is
The Real
where it all came
Housewives are so
from.
popular.
That is the turn of society.
Because people wait for that shooter drop and they finna fight. Here goes the argument, and that's kind of just where we at now.
Yep.
Used to have pardon the interruption. You know?
And PTI wasn't even that bad. Like PTI was
by
not
comparison,
Skip and Shannon. Like that was just like, okay, we're gonna go on this topic for just a quick second, and it's just a talk. They're having a conversation. It's not constantly yelling at each other.
Again, man, the Idiocracy movie, way ahead of its time.
Oh yeah,
just not a good movie. Like I remember watching that back in high school, and I was like, this is not a good movie. And then as the longer we've lived, I'm like, oh, it keeps coming up.
We're getting there.
like, was I watching Nostradamus in theaters? Like, what the? This man is spot on.
Yeah.
We're making wrestlers presidents and shit. Like, oh my god, this shit's coming true.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Anyway, existential crisis aside. Next question.
Moving on. Cal the Pug, he says, what horror movie series are you forcing your podcast co-host to watch? It can be something they despise entirely.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
I like horror movies too
I
much
want
to
you to-
make you guys watch stuff you don't like.
Yeah, I want you to watch something. I want you to dig it. But see, all the stuff I like, I would want Donnie to watch. He's already seen, so it's like weird.
That's probably not true.
That's
I'm sure
what
you've seen
series. In terms of series, yeah, you've probably seen all of them.
Well, there may be like I may have seen some of it, but like I may not be as into the series as you, right?
Yeah.
So like I haven't
No.
seen all the Saw movies. I've seen like 3 Saw movies because I'm not that into Saw.
I would not make you watch Saw.
I'm just throwing it out
Yeah,
there. Like there
yeah.
are certain things.
I'm just trying to think what series I can get you to watch that I feel like you would watch. And I can't think of any that you would watch.
It'd probably be a TV series because I don't watch a whole lot of TV series. That'd be your easiest get.
TV series.
You've probably
But
seen all
Netflix says
kinds
movie
of
series.
You've probably
Movie
seen all
said
kinds
movie
of
series.
stuff that I've never seen.
TV series. Now that probably would work. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one. That's a good point.
I was gonna say the Flanagan stuff that's on Netflix, but then it said movie series, so I had to back off that.
Yeah, I ain't never seen any of that.
I love that stuff. Oh my god, the Fallout House of Usher, fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Watch that
Just
shit.
didn't watch it. And I hate that every year we do Decade Forward and somebody asks me about the new hot horror TV drama series. I'm like, I have no idea. I haven't watched any of it. Some of it's really good. There was Hill House, right? And people love
the
that
haunting
thing.
of the oh, so good. All of his stuff on Netflix has been.
I
really
haven't
good.
even
I've
watched
really
all of the
enjoyed it.
Chucky series, and I love Chucky. Like I just can't. I
You
just
can't do a series. You can't
I
do
can't
it.
stick with a show that long. It's very hard.
You got 2 hours. Make it
The
happen.
most like in the most of the Chucky series I've watched, I wait until the series is done and then I just do it in one shot. I just put the thing in and I just watch the whole damn show in a day.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's just not how I
Trying to think.
consume television.
I mean,
I'm trying to think,
We watched the whole House of Usher in like 2 days, and like the Haunting of Hill House and all that stuff. We'll watch them in like 2 days. We'll watch 4 episodes here, 4 episodes there, and be done.
Thanks.
You know what?
Oh, so good.
I think this counts. I'll get Donnie to watch Death Note.
Yeah, I haven't watched that.
There you go.
We're gonna get Dev to watch that. I don't know a whole lot about Dev and horror outside of that. He doesn't like it.
I could care less about horror. It just doesn't do much for me unless it's like religious horror stuff. That always kind of gets me, like Stigmata.
Okay.
What's the one with Johnny Depp? The 13th book or something? What the hell is it? It's about the Devil's Bible.
Oh, I mean, I've seen that one.
The 13th Gate. That's what it is.
Oh, I think I have seen that one. Long time ago, though.
It's old.
That's
It's
old.
not new. It's really old. But I
Have
really
you
like that.
seen The Exorcism of Emily Rose?
Nope.
That would be the movie I would pick for you. My favorite
Is it a
exorcism
series
movie.
though?
No, it's just the one movie. Does it have to be a franchise?
Yeah, I think he said series, horror movie series.
That's a franchise.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
You mean when you say horror movie series, you mean a series of movies,
that's
not like a
that's
TV
what I'm
series.
assuming.
Yeah, like Friday
what
the
I'm assuming.
13th,
I
Nightmare
got
on
you.
Elm
Okay,
Street.
my bad.
So-
My bad. I tried and I failed. My bad.
That's what makes it hard. A series, like
I was thinking of Evil Dead Smoking Joe, but I don't think Dev would like all of the Evil Dead. He would just like the funny one.
I agree.
You
know what, Dev? You know what? If we're adding TV shows, Ash vs. Evil Dead. There you go. It's a good mix of funny and scary.
Okay. Army of Darkness was hilarious.
Yeah,
enjoyed
see,
that
I
movie
was
very
thinking you
much.
would maybe have seen those.
I saw that in theaters.
Army of Darkness is great.
Yes, I'm that old.
How about the zombie trilogy? Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's
I
Rejects.
saw that in theaters and I hated it. God, I hated that movie.
Which one?
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Well, Devil's
I don't
Rejects is
think I've
much
seen any of
better.
those.
The Three from Hell. What'd you say, Dev?
I don't think I've seen any of those.
Well, then be my answer for you. Watch the Rob Zombie trilogy.
Okay.
House of a Thousand Corpses is very Texas Chainsaw, and it's a little out there. But it all makes sense and pays off extremely well with Devil's Rejects, which is incredible. It's so good.
Okay.
All right. We need a funny horror movie franchise
You know what?
to recommend.
Nightmare on
to
Elm
Dev.
Street.
I mean, I think Elm Street's funny. Dev's got to watch those, right?
Yeah, I've watched most of those and they're hilarious. I think Freddy is fucking a comedian.
He's so funny.
He's hilarious.
He's great.
We
Like,
watched.
I've seen most of those. I've seen most of like the Jason movies. I've seen a good deal of the Halloween movies.
Shaun of the
I
Dead,
watched
stuff
the
like
first-
that.
Yeah.
I watched the first Nightmare on Elm Street. Not Nightmare on Elm Street. Friday the 13th this week.
You done Zombieland?
We did that. I've seen Zombieland. We watched the first Nightmare Friday the 13th like too, and it was so fucking slow.
It is.
God, it was so boring.
I liked it until the reveal happened. I'm like, oh.
We didn't even get that far. We were so bored. Turned it off like halfway.
Once
Like,
you see who it is, it's like, oh. And then you see the person like try to like kill. Like, why is this person a threat? Like, you should be able to easily murder this person. Like,
You seen Night of the Comet, Dev?
never even heard of it.
That is maybe possibly my favorite B horror movie of all time. It's extremely 80s, super 80s, and it is funny as hell.
I almost bought that this week.
And it's like funny bad, like it's terrible but it's hilarious. It's a good time. That's a good time if you want to like ever kick it old school and just have a funny time with like the apocalypse and very 80s and
God.
malls and shit.
I'm reading what it is, and I'm just like, oh, this is just the worst.
My other answer was going to be, have you seen Cabin Fever?
Yeah. Pancakes.
I love it. I love it so much. It's so good. Well, Dev's a hard one to peg. But Delv,
I don't really like
gotta watch the zombie trilogy, man. I didn't know you never watched those.
Never seen them. I recognize the cover. I think it's House of a Thousand Corpses because I've seen that cover everywhere. But I've
We
never
got
watched
free
it.
tickets to see that.
Yeah,
When it
the
came
Devil's
out.
Rejects is great. Kyle says, what about the Candyman franchise? What about it?
Dave, you've seen those, right?
I've seen the first one.
Yeah, I love
Scared the
Candyman.
shit out of me as a kid. Didn't know. Scared the shit out of me.
You scared to
No,
go
thank
see
you.
Candyman in the mirror?
I'm not saying that shit in the mirror. I ain't
Oh, I
playing with
said
that.
that
Don't
too.
invite
You
those
did that
spirits
all the
into my
time.
house.
You did it all the
Mm-mm.
time. Death. That's how you get ghosts.
That's how you exactly. That's how you get ghosts. No, thank you. We ain't. Nope.
Yeah.
We ain't playing with
You guys
that. We
realize
ain't playing
it's
with them
just a
spirits.
movie. They're just movies.
And
It's just like your Star Wars and your like your superheroes. They're no different. You can't go see
I wish
Spider-Man
I
in the
could
mirror
speak
and
those into
Spider-Man show
existence.
up.
I'm gonna try that tonight.
Spider-Man ain't trying to kill you. I ain't playing with these spirits. Nope. No, sir.
Ain't playing with these spirits.
Hey, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. I remember being a kid. They was like, go
Oh,
say Bloody
gosh.
Mary in the mirror. I'm like, absolutely not.
I will not.
Absolutely not.
Don't
In the
wish that
name of
evil on me.
Jesus. Nope.
First of
I
all,
used to love
Kyle.
doing that when I was a kid. We did that shit all the time. Super fun.
Absolutely not.
Mm-mm. No, thank
You
you.
know, speaking of horror movies, Jack is dressing up as Ghostface for Halloween.
Oh.
And
good
he
job,
asked me
Jack.
to watch his first scary movie ever. He's never done scary movies, but he wanted to watch the movie that Ghostface was in. He didn't even know what it was called. And I was like, Scream? I was like, yeah, we can watch Scream. And we watched it. And I mean, obviously I told him, I was like, I'll watch whatever you want to watch. Cause my kids never wanted to watch horror movies with me. I was like, yes, we'll watch it. But he wasn't that into it. Even regardless of me, I wasn't saying anything. He was just like, this is kind of dumb. And I was like, yeah, it kind of is. It always has been.
Yeah.
It's
It's a good starter scary movie.
I've never enjoyed Scream
Is
as
it?
much as our generation did.
It is. It's not too.
It's a good starter
violent.
scary movie. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah,
of.
it's not too
Stupid.
scary. It's a good introduction.
That's what I told my wife. She was like really worried. She was like, "It's going to be too much." I'm like, Scream,
It's not scary.
It's
Scream.
not scary. Yeah.
Scream.
No.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. All of these stupid.
Oh, I know what
movies,
you
they're
did
not
last summer.
scary.
Is a terrible movie. I don't think
Yeah, they're
Scream's a
not
terrible
scary.
movie.
I think they're both terrible.
It's just overhyped.
Yeah. But for like a 12, 13-year-old, like that's a good starter scary movie to get into.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
good.
not.
Good slasher. Little teen
I'm
scream.
feeling a little woozy over here.
Oh God, we were watching the ending and I was like, I fucking hate this guy so much. You kill him already.
Yeah.
This man, it's like, oh my God. It was brutal. I haven't watched that. I haven't watched just the regular old Scream in so long for good reason because of that. But yeah, maybe he didn't have any issues with it, so maybe he'll watch more with me. I don't know, but hopefully we can do something better than Scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Enough of this scary movie crap. Last question. Rob 3000. He says, "Who's playing Alan Wake 2?
See,
What are your thoughts on the PC requirement controversy?"
I didn't read that at all.
I don't know if it's controversial.
It's not
It
a
just is the
controversy.
requirements. The requirements are very high.
They're controversial requirements.
The
They're not
demand.
even controversial requirements at all.
What are they? What is controversial about it?
So people
How
are
can
mad.
PC requirements be controversial?
So the controversy, which is not controversy and it's stupid.
I don't think
it's-
we're
you
using
have-
the controversy right. I don't think we're using the right
Probably
word.
not.
Just anger.
Oh, it's anger.
The
and
anger
it's
over the
causing-
requirements. It's not a
It's causing
controversy.
a controversy because people are mad because their 7-year-old GPU can't run this game. First
My
of all,
fucking 2-year-old GPU apparently can't run the fucking game.
which is typically how PC gaming really goes. Like with PC gaming, it's a constant upgrade phase. Like if you're not upgrading your GPU, possibly your CPU every 3 years, there's going to be games you just can't run well. And that's just always been how PC gaming has been. You have a lot of people who are new to the PC gaming space that are like, why can't my thing run this at the highest thing? Because
Can't
you've
my
come from the
1050
console
do 4K
generation.
120?
Yeah, because you've come from the console generation, and I think the 360 PS3
'Cause you have a
generation
Steam
being
Deck,
super
sir.
long. Yeah,
Yes.
and the PS4 generation being super long has lulled people into thinking that dev cycles just last longer. Like a new GPU comes out every other year.
Yeah.
There's a new CPU every year, and if you're a AAA developer trying to push the limits of what the PC hardware can do, then you're aiming for the highest end stuff. And yeah, just by attrition, you're weeding out all the other stuff that can't run it. And that's just the way PC gaming has always been.
I
And
also
people are
don't.
big mad about it.
I mean, I studied their little chart because I'll be playing it on PC. I've already pre-ordered my game on Epic. I also don't like necessarily 100% believe their charts. Their charts are always like kind of like recommendations. You can play with settings to like bend. Like I've never looked at anything like it's hard and stop. By their chart standards, I think to play at 60 frames based on their chart standards, I would have to play at 1080p. And I guarantee you that's not the case. I guarantee you I can play the thing at
turn
60,
stuff
at least
super down.
1440, if not 4K. I could probably get to 4K with some upscaling and whatnot. And just probably lower a lot of other settings, turn ray tracing off and things like that. So, but they did say that this game is intended to be at 30, right? So
They made
maybe
it originally for 30.
So when I hear that these days, I think it may be very CPU intensive. And maybe like trying to get up to 60 is difficult. It's not necessarily
No.
GPU based.
This one is way more GPU based. When
Okay.
you look at the CPUs, they're talking about like for the recommended, it's a Ryzen 7 3700, which is not
Okay.
a new CPU.
Yeah, I don't have it up in
in
front of
any-
me.
Yeah, it's not the CPU. It's the GPU that is really needed. That needs a high end GPU. The fact
And
that
he needs like a
the
lot of
minimum-
VRAM, right?
Not necessarily a lot of VRAM actually. It's more just the processing power of the GPU itself. For
I thought
example,
their VRAM requirements were pretty high,
Mm-mm.
even at like lower resolutions.
So the minimum low graphics preset 1080p for 30 frames per second requires an RTX 2060.
Yeah.
And that's with 6 gigs of VRAM and running DLSS at quality to be able to run the game in
That seems-
low.
Pretty good to me. Is that not?
So it's
I had a
it's a new thing
2060 in my
because-
laptop like years ago.
Right. So the 2060 is an older card, but you have a lot of people who are still running the 10 series. So people are mad because it won't. You mean to tell me to even run it on low?
You need to get
need
out of PC
2060?
gaming. Maybe it's not for you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like again,
I feel the same way
you're
about cars.
talking about a 7-year-old GPU. Like, bruh, you can't play a game that comes out in 2023 on a GPU that came out in like 2015. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. It's just not. It's not going to work that way.
Yeah, there's no amount of
You need to
DLSS to
actually
help you
upgrade.
there.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's really people trying to run games on really old hardware. Like, it's just we're at the point where there's an upgrade cycle with.
Well, I remember looking at
PC
it.
gaming.
I think it's a little bit more than that. I don't think it's just everybody's mad because they play on old technology. The requirements at the higher end are though really high though.
They
I remember I was looking at it and I was like, I don't know if I've got it.
Yeah, you know? Ray tracing is an automatic
pull up the damn chart.
So if you run even the ultra settings, ultra 4K 60, they're saying like the minimum is an RTX.
Yeah, if you want to do 1080 60, they want you to have a 3070.
Mm-hmm.
Like usually a 3070 gets you a little bit better than that.
And that's on the low graphics preset, or the medium, everything at medium.
Yeah.
And that just means the game is very graphic intensive. Like, it just requires a lot of processing power.
And then the ultra at high at 4K, 4070 with 12 gigs of VRAM.
Yep.
So I'm going to be somewhere in the middle of those two. But I'll probably turn a lot of those settings down. Just like I did with, Dying Light and Cyberpunk. Like I'll dial it in. You pick and choose what you want, what you care about. I've always learned that. Well, I mean, I've said it since these consoles launched, and I still say it. I don't care a whole lot about ray tracing. Doesn't usually make a gigantic. It does make a difference. I do think it's an improvement. But when I'm actively playing a game, I'm not stopping to notice the ray tracing. I also feel the same way about like shadow details. Like I want the shadows there, but like I don't need my shadows to be 100% the right shade of shadow and the exact shape. Like I ain't studying shadows that hard.
You're not going to notice it in a lot of games. In a game like Alan Wake, you might, because of the fact that
you might.
With
that game, it might be very dark.
This is one that is trying to create an atmosphere, and to turn it all the way up, like it's going to create a really surreal experience. To that
effect, one of the effects that I think make a huge difference, and they are very intensive, is volumetric stuff. Volumetric stuff you do notice when you're playing, and if you turn it down, some shit can look real janky real quick. It's like you want to keep that up if you can. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I imagine I have never not been able to play something, even because and here's the thing, I usually don't even play at 4K, but to this point, I have not been able to play at 4K on this computer. But I usually play at 1600 is kind of my sweet spot because it takes up a large portion of my screen, but I can still keep up little side windows on the side. I can have Discord open, maybe music or podcast. I've gotten real cozy with this little 1600 setup that I'm at. So that saves me a little bit because I'm not running most things at 4K anyway.
I'll be curious to see how well it runs because even needing a 3070 to run 1080p 60, I'm curious to what what the 3080 is going to do.
I might be playing at 1080. I'm not playing. I mean, I want the frames if possible, but it also might be one of those. There are certain games at 30 that are fine.
Right.
If it's a slow game and it's a smooth 30, maybe let's crank it up. I'll play it at 30. It's okay.
1440p, 30 frames.
Delvin, you ready to get down on the Steam Deck?
Nah, I'm playing this on my console. PS5, baby.
Nice.
I ain't got to worry about none of these things that y'all talk about. Like all the ray tracing and all this other shit. I don't give a shit. Just plug it in, turn it on, play it. Don't think about it.
Well, yeah, like Haley was like, I'm glad I'm playing PS5. And I think she's playing there. And I'm sure it'll be a fine experience. But like, if the requirements are this high on PC, like, do we know? Like, it may not be all that great on console either. Like, it may be pretty tough. It's not like it's going to be running at 4K 120 on console out of the blue, right? Like these consoles don't have that much there. So it may be more optimized. It's probably going
to run at a subpar, like a sub 1080p base resolution, upscaled checkerboard rendering to get to 4K. It probably won't even run like full 4K. It'll probably be dynamic. A dynamic resolution with the 1080p base. Probably no ray tracing, maybe a little bit of ray tracing depending. And it's like there's a performance mode, so there's a way to get it to run 60. I wonder what it's going to look like running at 60.
Yeah, so they're like, we're going to have a performance mode, and the whole time I was like, what does that mean?
Right.
You've cut everything in
Can I
half.
shoot
Nobody
the
wants
bad
that.
guys with the flashlight.
Reminds me of Horizon.
That's
Remember
all it
Horizon
was.
had that performance mode like at launch, and I was like, yeah, but nobody wants this.
Yeah.
It's not good though. I don't know. When this news came out, this is a couple weeks old at this point. There were people on Reddit like, I'm glad I got a console, and I'm like, I don't think you like you guys are thinking like it's just going to be twice as good on console. It's not. We've been here before.
I think it's just one of those things with the console where they're not looking at this stuff. Like, does it play?
Exactly.
Run? Okay.
Now
I
you
got
hit
you.
it. Does it
And
play? It's good enough.
Like,
Yeah, Delvin doesn't know anything about
Yeah.
ambient occlusion
Don't fuck about
and
that shit you're talking
volumetric. He's like, what?
He
Who
turns
gives
it
a-
on,
Who
turns it on,
gives
and it
a
plays,
fuck?
and he's good.
Does it play? Can I aim the flashlight at the bad guys and shoot them?
We'll
I
find
And
out
will
I'm
together.
say we have kind of converted Delvin to the 60 FPS though, because he let me know he tried to play Spider-Man in 30. He was like, absolutely,
Dude, you
not.
can't play Spider-Man at 30. That's not a 30 game. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm like, no, this is terrible.
That's like playing that's like playing Call of Duty at 30. Like, are you out of your damn mind?
Yeah, like, I tried. They said fidelity mode because I think it booted up in fidelity. Like, no, this is terrible.
So you have
I
your
cannot do
your console set to automatically do fidelity. Mine is set to automatically do performance mode
Performance.
because I know better.
That's what it was with.
Yeah.
Is that what it was with Horizon? Their fidelity mode was all choppy and shit.
Yeah,
But their performance mode was great.
Yes.
the performance
Yes.
mode. The performance mode was good, but if you took a still, you could see how bad things in the distance looked in
Until
the
they fixed
performance
it. And then I got in
Until
after
they
they fixed
fixed
it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
it.
Correct.
All right, I remember there's something because I remember whatever the mode was, I tried the other mode and I was like, absolutely. I did like I like walked forward and I spent 5 seconds trying that. I was like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And I blame all that on PC. I probably would have noticed 10 years ago, but playing on
Mhm.
PC, I was like, what is this trash?
Yeah.
Why is this
real.
even an option? Why did they let people do this?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's real bad.
Save them from themselves. I'm excited.
And then
for
the
Alan
rest
Wake.
of Rob's questions is what's on your wish list for the Steam Halloween sale kicking off tomorrow? Absolutely
boy.
nothing.
I mean, I spent so much money already on the Switch shop. I mean, Steam hasn't. So I was going to say this earlier. Steam hasn't had like crazy sales of late. It's been a minute. They always have sales.
There's a lot of stuff on their sales.
Yeah, they always have
Halloween.
sales, but like, man, years ago when I got into Steam, I could buy so many games for like $1. Like they had really good sales. I haven't seen a whole
That might
lot
be
of
over now.
those lately. It seems like as Steam keeps getting more and more popular, they're like, we don't have to sell stuff that cheaply anymore.
Yeah.
I've been wondering that if that's a thing lately.
Last of Us Part 1 is $47.99.
Yeah,
Dead
like
by
the
Daylight,
cheap games on
$7.99.
Steam now are like $7.99, $12.99. It's more console like now.
Yeah. The gold edition of Resident Evil is $29.59. There's some decent stuff on here.
You can get Gollum, Lord of the Rings Gollum for $30.
Nah,
It's
they
too
need
much.
that. They should give me $30 back. They should put $30 in my Steam account. Here.
I have hundreds of games in my wish list. I'm not
That is
looking to buy
crazy.
anything because I'll be playing Alan Wake and Cyberpunk eventually one day again and Mario and stuff. So I'm not like actively looking for something. But I do want that Lego racer game. What was that damn thing called?
Lego.
The Forza one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I was
I can't
digging the
remember
hell
the
out of that
game.
game. It was a lot of fun. And I mean, I kind of stopped playing it because I got the crew, and I will go back to the crew as well one day and finish that up. But like, I want that Lego game. But I don't,
Lego
but
2K
again,
Drive.
but I want it on my terms. I don't want to pay $30 for that game. I want to get that game for like 20 or under. And I'd be very happy and I can have it and play it. That's really the only thing that I think I'm like checking on. So it probably won't be in the Halloween sale because they're
Devil
probably
May
going to do a
Cry
lot of.
5, $10.
Well, that's great.
Dead Rising. All the games are $20 altogether for all the Dead Rising games.
I've been waiting for Samurai Warriors to go on sale forever, for like 3 years, I feel like. And it never goes on a deep discount sale. So that's the one good thing about consoles, especially on the digital stores with the with the subsidized prices. Like if you have Plus and Live, you even get the cheaper deals. They do some really good sales sometimes. And you can get games on Xbox or Switch or whatever, like $3.99. Like dirt. That was me with Switch, man. I went absolutely apeshit on some games on my wish list on Switch because I think I see you guys a screenshot, not counting Metal Gear and Red Dead because those were new. I think I bought like 12 games for like $40.
Wow.
It was like $1 here, $4 there, $6 for this one. I got Kakarot. It was like $12. You know?
It's not bad. It's a good sale.
And I still get, I'm not saying that you don't get sales on Steam. You do. I just find that like the really good sales, I get on Fanatical. I get on Green Man Gaming. I get on eBay. I get on CD Keys. You know, I get deals elsewhere outside of Steam. Honestly, a lot of times what I do is I check Steam for the sale, and then I go check the other prices to see if I can beat the sale. Because a lot of times, like, it'll be $7.99 on Steam, but I can get it for $5.99 on Fanatical.
Nice.
You know,
chase them deals with Donnie. That's what he does.
You got to get it. I want that Forgive Me Father 2 game. Maybe that'll go on a discount.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That just came out in early access, and I really, really enjoyed the first one. It's a horror-themed boomer shooter. So I wouldn't mind picking up the sequel. I haven't finished the first one though yet. I need to finish the first one.
Never even heard of it.
What about you, Dev?
I have.
What are you hunting?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Absolutely nothing. No.
What about like this year? Is there nothing you want to catch up on or miss?
There's
or
literally nothing else that I'm looking for at this point. I got Spider-Man and Cyberpunk. There's not another game this year that I'm even looking at buying.
I want Sonic, but I want it cheap.
My son wants Sonic and he wants Wonder. He'll get one of those for his birthday and one of those for Christmas.
Get Wonder for Christmas or whichever one comes first.
He's probably more. I'm going to give him probably Sonic for his birthday because I think he's more excited for Sonic. And then get him Wonder for Christmas.
It's not very good though. Like that's the problem.
It doesn't matter. He likes Sonic. Period. It doesn't matter. He's 7. He doesn't care about whether or not the game is good. He enjoys playing games with Sonic. He really likes Sonic.
Fair enough.
Yeah. He don't know a good game from a bad game. He just knows he's playing with characters that he likes and it's fun. And that is what gaming really should be.
Delvin, are you hunting anything?
I'm looking at stuff right now. It's a lot of stuff on sale. But I don't know if I'm going to get anything yet. A lot of stuff out there.
Trying to look at like the new. Oh, I knew there was another one. Dead Island.
Oh, yeah.
I have yet to play Dead Island 2. The cheapest I think I've seen it's $45, which isn't a bad price. It's just I have never, like right now, I wouldn't play it right now because I've got so much to play. That's been me all year long with this game. So I can afford to be patient and I'm trying to get it cheaper. If I can pick that game up for $20 this Black Friday, I'll grab it and stash it and play it another time. But I'm not going to pay $40 for a game I'm not going to play right away. That's been like my new thing. I'm not going to buy full price games, even slightly discounted games, if I'm not going to stop and play them like right then and there. Because if I'm not going to play it, then I can wait. I can wait like Mirage. I can wait for Mirage. I can pick that thing up at UB Plus at any moment. So like there's no rush. I will get to it when I've got time to get to it. And hopefully when it's on sale, I'd rather buy it. I mean, I'd rather buy it than rent it.
Yeah. That's been my kind of thing with games lately. Like, if I am not looking to play it right away, I'm probably not going to play it at all. So I'm not going to worry about wasting money on it. Because there's been just too many games that I've bought that I didn't play or I bought later on a discount that I still didn't play. I'm like, that's just me wasting money. Like, I know I'm not going to go back and play something. So if it's not something that I want to play when it comes out, I'm not even going to bother. I'm not going to buy it later because I'm not going to play it later. Yeah. There's going to be something else that I'd rather play.
I've been really good at that this year. I haven't been buying things that I don't play. I know I buy a lot of games, but like...
You play a lot of games.
I do play a lot of games, but like the little ones that I just bought, like Tamami and stuff like, I got those for like $2. You know, like that was nothing. I'm not buying games that are more than say $20, $25 that I'm not actively playing.
Yeah.
I just keep waiting and waiting and waiting. And that's why I missed out on Dead Island 2. It just, wrong time, man. It came out like right before Tears of the Kingdom. It's like, no, like, I'm not getting to you anytime soon. There'd be no reason for me to spend any money on this right now.
Right.
And I'd prefer not to play it on Epic. I'm not going to wait for Alan Wake, so I got it on Epic. But
Yeah.
I've already missed Dead Island 2, so maybe I can just wait for the Steam release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to do the same thing with Mirage. Who knows when that'll show up? Valhalla showed up
Right.
like 4 years later or whatever. So
It'll be interesting.
Hmm.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, Wemby's got 15 points, 5 rebounds, shooting 75% from the field, 60 from 3.
holy shit.
And
Been
right
trying to
now
tell
it's all
people.
tied up. All tied up. 3 minutes to go.
Oh, that's in the fourth?
Mm-hmm. I've been watching the game the whole time. The beauty of having 2 screens.
Nice. I would
So-
he's the cheat code, man. I'm trying to tell people.
Only 20 minutes, so he's only played 20 minutes. Of the
Remember
game,
we
so
had that whole debate. Apparently Donovan Mitchell hit the game winner.
Oh, good for him.
So we started the game. We started the podcast. When we started the podcast, it was like what, 5 minutes to go in the fourth or whatever. It was 105, 103. He must have scored the last 12 points or whatever because he ended with 27, 6, and 4. I think when we got the call, he had 16.
He had like 16, yeah.
Wow.
Like he apparently his box score looks good now. It didn't look good when we joined the call, but he made it. He got it together by the end. He got it there. Oh, they're playing Luca.
Mm-hmm.
Luca's got 27, 13, and 8.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie's got 17, 0 for 6 from
Yeah.
beyond the stripe.
And only shooting 38 from the field. Like he's not shooting
Wemby
well at all.
15, 2 steals, 1 block, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. Those rebounds are he's got to do better.
Yeah. You already know how I feel about these big dudes not getting rebounds. And no offensive
6'9" and
rebounds either.
3'5". My thing is I'm just impressed with it's truly skill. His ball handling ability for a guy his size is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like it is absurd. I've never seen a 7-footer do a 180 crossover step back from anywhere on the floor, let alone from like Steph range. Like what is happening right now?
It's so crazy watching some of these big dudes that can actually handle the ball because it's like dribbling a tennis ball for them. And I can't dribble a tennis ball to save my life. Like it's so hard. Like how are they able to control the ball that well? It's insane.
Yeah, Devin Vassal's good. He's shooting that well tonight. He's got 21. He's only got 1. I like him a lot. I liked him a lot coming out of college. I like what the Spurs are doing. They're slowly putting pieces together. Like they're like one really good like free agent or trade away from like contending. But I think it would be smart for them to like sit on it for a year.
Yeah,
like let Wemby let them be bad for a year and then cash in on like one all-star player and then let them grow around that person. I don't know who it could be, right? But like they'd be a great place for like Siakam or something like that. Would have been a great place, honestly, for Lillard. He would have liked it, but like would have been a great place for it because they're ready to like start ascending. They're ready to go up.
Ready to get back to that Spurs level of basketball.
Yep. Just Wemby's got to get a little seasoning, maybe another rookie that they can add to the mix and then go. Because then they'll start. Well, they've already started, I think, with Keldon Johnson. They gave him a bunch of money. But all these guys they have, they're about to get extensions. That's the thing in the NBA. That's the reason I pay attention to the cap is you start handing out contracts and that your clock is running. That's how it works these days. And you can you can't keep everybody. It's like Vassal's going to get an extension and Sohan will get an extension. Jonathan got his. Wemby's going to get a max. So they will get expensive fast. In the next 3 to 5 years, they will be a tax team. So
just stupid.
You add your veterans now while you're cheap and young, and you grow as a tax team together and then extend your window. So they should be looking for a veteran all-star that they can pick up for draft picks now or next year, not now, next year, and then take off and run. That's what the Cavs did. right? They had their little collection of rookies and everything. All right, let's go get Mitchell. And then he may leave. He's a good move. Everybody in every media person outside of the state of Ohio is convinced that he's going to leave and go to the Knicks. Now, hindsight told me that I heard that for 8 years about LeBron. He is yet to sign with the Knicks. He's been a free agent a half dozen times.
Nobody wants to go to the Knicks.
But is Donovan from there? Like, it does. I think does he have like family or something that's in the office? Like, there's something about them, because that's been a rumor with him since Utah, since before Cleveland. That's not a new thing. That's been his thing for a minute.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea why. And nobody ever wants to go to the Knicks. And in fact, people who want to go to New York end up going to the Nets instead.
Brunson
wants to play for the Knicks.
That is true.
His dad in the office.
That is very true.
But that's
as
been,
long as the ownership is the same for the Knicks, it's like nobody really wants to go there.
That's been the that's been the scuttlebutt about the Cavs all offseason. Like, all preseason's just been dominated with, will he or won't he re-sign? He's not a free agent.
He's from New York. He's from New York. That's what it is.
He's not a free agent. We have him under contract next season too. So, like, I think it's gonna be one of those things where if he doesn't re-sign next season, then they'll trade him. But they've got him, so he's not going anywhere anytime soon. But you know how Cleveland is. I think ever since LeBron left,
finally hit a 3.
Ever since LeBron left, the Cavs media and the general fan base, they're
clamoring for something.
No. Paranoid that, like, everybody's going to leave. Remember, they were freaking out that Sexton was going to leave.
Oh, Cleveland.
They're talking about they got to give Sexton a max or he'll leave. What the hell?
It's got to be tough being a Cleveland sports fan.
It's really not. I mean, it probably is for, like, if you're in the city and that's like all you hear all the time, then I would agree with you. I have some perspective being outside. I honestly feel bad for them. I'm like, guys, stop listening to this bullshit. Like, quit letting these people. It's like all pitchforks all the time, which again goes back to the conversation we were having earlier, right? What gets attention? In Cleveland, what gets attention is saying the sky is falling. If the sky is falling, always. It's always falling. They're like always looking for like the next. They're like eternal losers. They're always looking for the next shoe to drop as to why they'll lose again. And it's just like
bad news bears.
Yeah, it's like, just, you've got a chance now. Like, enjoy it. Enjoy it while you can. I'd say the same thing about your Lake show.
Give back Kevin Love.
Enjoy the Lakers. They got a chance.
I can't enjoy them. Like, I can't enjoy them as long as AD is there. I can't do it.
This man has a team with multiple All-Stars and Olympians, the best player on the planet. He's like, can't stand it.
It's not enjoyable for me.
Yeah.
Sorry. San Antonio completely fell apart at the end of the game. Dallas just took over. Luka did Luka things.
Luka is him. Luka is that guy.
God.
Yeah.
He like his body control. He pulled this move where he Euro'd and did it slow enough to get contact from somebody behind him, gave a little pump, got the bump, and then and one. I'm just like, he's
that guy, and he is that dude in the whole league.
Yeah.
Everybody.
And
I don't care who it is. Durant, Steph. No. If I got to pick one player, I need a bucket to win a game. Luka Doncic.
Luka. Yeah. He's got 33, 10, and 14 now. Yeah.
Huh?
He's a cheat. He got a triple double. 33, 10, and 14.
Yeah, even Jokic is not. He's not Luka. Luka's probably just has no help, man. Out there with fucking Kyrie Irving and shit.
Yeah.
Like, he needs some actual. If he had an actual cast, if he was in Golden State, if they had a couple All-Stars, if he was like on a well-run organization.
Yeah.
Different story.
But yeah, Luka's a killer. He's got that.
Yes, he is.
Got that Kobe gene.
He's definitely got that mom mentality because he's also trying to step on your neck and never let up.
You guys remember this? Remember when he came out of the draft? I wanted the Cavs to go get him so bad. I felt really, really early on the Luka train. I was like, trade everything. Everything. I need every pick, Sexton, all of it. Trade everything we have. Go get this man. Go get this one player. And I remember my best friend, he's a Hawks fan. We usually go to Cavs Hawks games together. They traded him.
Mhm.
And I was just,
Very
you were
young.
going to eat this for the rest of your life. He was like, I don't know. And I remember the first year, he's like, I don't know, man. Trae Young's pretty good. And it's like the East Coast Steph. No.
No,
Is he?
no, that's not what he is at all.
He told me that for years. It took maybe 2 or 3 seasons before he started to let that one go.
Yeah.
He's like, we got Steph Curry. I was like, well, meanwhile, they've got Kobe Bryant. Which one do you want? So,
Yeah. All right. Well, that is going to do it for this episode of the Play Some Video Games podcast. Please feel free to check us out over the Twitters at PSVG. Give us a sub on the YouTube at youtube.com/@PSVG. Hit us up over on our Facebook and join us for all of our nonsensical conversations on the Discord. Anything you want to say to the people, Delvin? Because you've been quiet.
No.
Until next time, play some video games.